Hello, 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 everybody. It's good to see you. Safa, you really got the 30-minute notification. I tested what you said. Thank you, man. Thank you much. Hey, beautiful people. Liza, did you get the notification? Um, so yeah, thank you, Safa. It's not an hour. It's not an hour. I'm going for 30 minutes, which is still, which is still unfair. I mean, I would much prefer being way more organized and giving my viewers notice so that they know what to do. I mean, so that they can play it's anyway. But yeah, that's cool. Thank you, Sefa. So I got the 30-minute notification from YouTube. But by the way, makes it easier. Yeah, that half an hour. Yeah, I mean, that 60 minutes. I'm a different person an hour later. I am a completely different person. I am ready to go live when I schedule it. And then an hour later, I'm like, what the F? So anyway, I became excited when I saw your comment there. So Liza, hello, beautiful people. Thank you, Liza. Now, yesterday you came a little early and then came back. But since that was only 3 minutes ago, I think you're probably still here. And then, hey, Liza. Yeah, I think she's probably still somewhere else. Makes it easier, huh? Yeah, Sifa, thank you for that 30 minutes, really. And I know exactly what you mean. Yeah, it's weird. uh, you know, maybe for Brittany and people like her, 60 minutes. You got the notification? Man, this is the good Sifa Juju. Hi, Sifa. I got the notification too, but I had to unsubscribe and subscribe back last night. Wow. I hope I tend to always do things. Brown Bear Jamboree. Hey, how are you? I tend to set things up incorrectly. So, hello, Brown Bear Jamboree. Hi, Joe. And then B server. Did you get my message? I don't know how to communicate with people. I don't. I get anyway. I'm overwhelmed. I thought I figured out comments, and I would find them in YouTube Studio, our YouTube channel, and I thought I had all the comments. I'm like, oh, phew, okay, I finally figured out how to communicate with people. And then just tonight, I went somewhere. You did get my message. That's good. Thank you. But I went somewhere, I think YouTube Studio, and I had like 9 messages. And I'm like, wait. And they're not set up clearly. I can't tell if I have responded or I have not responded. There was something on the far right. Anyway, it was if I have missed anybody's message, it's because I missed it. I always would like to communicate with everybody, even the people I don't like. I would communicate with everybody, all everybody, stalkers and trolls, and I would communicate with everybody. So if you don't hear from me, I don't know it exists. So and a couple weeks ago I was I was talking about I was talking about I don't understand the difference between YouTube channel and YouTube studio. And I think when I had a chance to set up studio, I set it up, but I think it's the same thing per se, or it's the same account number. I don't know. I'm confused. I found a lot of messages tonight that I didn't think I had responded to. So anyway, I don't have anything planned much tonight either. I guess I'm just going to do intimate groups. We can certainly do a panel. Liza and B, you are welcome to come up. Brown Bear Jamboree, you are welcome to come up. I certainly have seen you around for sure. I don't know if you're a viewer only, but and you don't have to be first. B server will probably come up, and Liza will come up after a while, and and Lady V, if she comes, she's so Sitha says, speaking of communicating with people. I made a live chat that people can use between streams for when they want to continue communicating with each other when the stream ends. It looks so good. That is so cool. Now, I don't think you were in my stream last night. At the end, I was in a restaurant, and 2 nights ago, the same restaurant closed at 11. And they came up to me at about 11:02 and said, hey, we are closed. You can stay. When we leave, you have to leave. And they didn't give me a time, but, it sounded like 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes, something like that. So they didn't say anything last night. They didn't say anything. But suddenly it became urgent that I had to leave. So I'm like, hey, guys. And there was a intimate group in my group here. I do continue going over to Twitter. There's still hundreds of viewers and thousands of viewers throughout the stream. I'm blown away by that. Thank you, Twitter. I really appreciate that. And I'm sad that you can't make comments. And but anyway, I was going to leave, and someone said, oh, you can just sign out and we'll just keep talking. And I'm like, what? And they're like, yeah, just sign out. And which, to me, sign out can mean 3 different things. I can leave studio. I can end broadcast, part 1 and 2. I was like, I can close the window. I can hit the X I'm like, what are you talking about? So anyway, I needed to immediately leave. So I did that. And then I came back in about 20 minutes and said, hey, you are still talking. So I said, can you see me? And they said, yeah. And I could hear everything they were saying, but they couldn't. You were there when Lady V said that? Yeah, that was so cool. That was I'm surprised. But anyway, I kept it open for a while because I immediately started walking to my car. And it's hard to tell with Wi-Fi if it gets, you did talk forever. That's cool. Cause I ultimately turned off my laptop. I turned off my effing laptop. I do not understand how y'all can keep talking, but you did. So that's cool. I'm great. I'm glad to hear. So I walked out. After my 20-minute break, I immediately walked out to the car, and the Wi-Fi seemed to get glitchy and glitchy and glitchy. And then Lady V disappeared, and I said, oop. So I went back into the store, put the laptop up on a display, and just started observing it. And people are looking at me strangely because they know I'm always in the restaurant. Or, they're pretty lenient. I have now been asked. Yeah, anyway, I always get a time frame at a truck stop. And so I do have to find another truck stop, which I'm at a different one now, but I'm in the laundry room. So it's phenomenal Wi-Fi, but no privacy and stuff. So yeah, phenomenal. When you sporadically find Xfinity, and I think let me just, I'm going to go through all the the comments. I apologize for that. I swear I'll just read them. I swear. No, you know not to believe me on that, but I'll try to catch up just so I don't want to miss any of them. So I got that 30-minute notification from YouTube, by the way. That is so cool. And hello, beautiful people. Hello, beautiful Liza. Hey, Liza, says Sifa. Uh-oh. Makes it easier, huh? Yeah, that 30 minutes, I think, is a big difference for me for some reason. Why does that do that? I guess if I hover on your all's comment, I have to click and leave. And then I know exactly. I wasn't there 2 seconds. Okay, I got to click and leave. I know exactly what you mean. Okay, I'm going to click and hover. Let's count it. Click. 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000, 4, 1,000. It didn't do it on her. Hi, Sif. I got the notification too, but I had to unsubscribe and subscribe back last night. I wonder if that's, I hear I have all this support and, and that, what's her name? In all these places, but Brittany, over in Brittany and stuff, but maybe they followed early and now those all have to be unsubscribed and resubscribed back. I don't know. So Brown Bear, hi, Joe. And B Server, hey, Joe. Okay, I'll get down to the comments. Sorry, I got your message. That's cool. That was the hardest thing in the world to send that message. It was the hardest thing. It was written on it was the hardest thing. Everything I have is Frankenstein, which you would probably understand, especially if you go to a second device. You're going to be way more than my Frankensteins. But I wrote it on one device and it couldn't go, and then I went on to my laptop and I found the account, but then I couldn't do it, and then I had to go back to it was just like, I'm just right. I just want to tell her, hey. So I'm not fishing. My number one way to communicate is texting. That's way too intimate. That's okay that we don't text. And then tweeting is my second favorite, whether that's a DM, a direct, direct messaging, which is a private messaging, or just a regular tweet, which you're not on that. So that's my top two, I guess. But I can't figure it out YouTube. I mean, I hate that people. So Liza says the B server, hello, love. And then once again, Sifa, speaking of communicating with people, I made a live chat that people can use between streams for when they want to continue communicating with each other when the streams end. It looks so good. That's so cool. B server will probably use it. Oh, B server, you say I'll come up in a few. Sifa, and people just have to type in their YouTube name for it. Oh my goodness, that's so cool. And B server, I'll come up in a few. Great. You probably have already said time's up. That's 6 minutes ago. How do I get so far beyond? Liza, Sifa, that's great. It does sound. And then Nightbot, thank you very much. Sifa, Liza, you should check it out. It's on my community page. That is cool. So Sifa, that restaurant sounds cool that they let you stay so late. And I was there when Lady B said that. I kind of impose my presence at places, and I try to be indiscreet, but if they start talking about Santa, then I play up to that. It's strange. I wish I was just a billionaire, and then I could just own every place I want to stay at. B server, we talked forever. That's amazing. And Notbot, thank you very much. So it's a glitch that's been going on for years on YouTube with the notifications. I bet they just have too many millions and billions of users. Nightbot and Nightbot. Sifa, you said you can't figure out YouTube, but that's what I'm here for. So, just let me know. YouTube. So anyway, it shows that I'm caught up. I did pretty well there. But yeah, thanks, Sifa. I don't know how someone writes me a comment, and I don't know how I'm supposed to respond to the comment. And most importantly, I don't know how not to miss the comment. It's not a natural step for me. I'm not, what is it? It's upper. That's not it. Showed side panel. That's not even it. Okay, I'll be off screen. So I go to channel. I assume y'all can see me. Your channel. So I go to my channel, and there's a notification, and there says 5. And those are all, watch this, watch this, watch this, watch this. Which those are fine. I guess I want to get those, but I really care about you can just heart the comments. Thanks for sending me that heads up message before the stream. Yeah, I mean, I have an intimate room for sure. So I want Lady V, which I'm just not good at any of this. I'm not good at scheduling. I'm not good at planning. I'm not good at confirming and committing and letting people know. But I've gotten better at giving her enough notice that I'm going live. And so I do the similar to you, and I do the similar to Liza in the email. And then just tonight was the first time I tried to do B, and it worked. But it's these. It says you can just heart the comments. That's incorrect. I can thumbs up them, I can heart them, and then I can reply to them. I can do all three of them, but I don't know where that comes from. And they're currently two different lists. The YouTube studio and the YouTube channel, they're two different lists. Now, if I catch up with all of them and reply to everyone and get them all done, then they might be each of them get the next, each of them get the next, each of them get the next. But maybe I'm calling it something wrong. Maybe you mean a comment like here. Okay, wait. Okay, I'll click on your, it has a star. What's a star? You can just heart, thanks, Eva. It takes practice, so don't be hard on yourself. You're doing great, and I meant you can just heart them for when you don't know what to say in reply. Right. Okay, I understand what you're saying, because when I'm on the road and I'm really stressed out and I don't know how to commit to a consistent schedule, and they're wondering if I'm dead, and my cat, that seemed to be the hot topic last night. Doing a thumbs up and a heart is fairly immediate, but I still have to find them. I still have to, it's not a natural click. Well, none of it's natural. It's not natural to, my first 5 streams recently, prior to Idaho 4, I did about 50 YouTube streams. I couldn't tell you which one were live and which were recorded. I had some of both, and I didn't know how to edit. I just released them, and I had about 50. No learning curve. I didn't learn. I didn't know anything about those. And then Idaho 4 happened, and then bam, I did 5 live YouTubes. And within that time, I started talking to Brittany, like, how do I do this StreamYard? Help. And I was real anxious and stuff. And then I got up and running. But I was going to do, I got way huger numbers in YouTube than StreamYard. I got way bigger numbers in YouTube by itself than StreamYard, way bigger. And I'm like, well, shit, I was going to do every other. But I'm like, it seems logical to go to YouTube. Now, StreamYard is far more powerful. I can send it to 6 destinations all at once, which I do like doing that, even though I haven't realized the power of that and the power in that and the strength, the purpose. I'm fumbling for the words, but so Liza, let's see here. So if you're a great soul, maybe one day we could get YouTube school with Sifa. Sifa knows a lot for sure. It's you help me for sure, Sifa. Hearting the comments makes it so they at least know you acknowledge them in a positive way, which is considered a response. Right. I didn't. I misinterpreted. You can just heart the comments, meaning you could just do that. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I thought you meant you can only heart the comments, but the heart, not that I get double the punch with the same amount of energy, but to do the thumbs up and the heart takes about the same amount of time and the same amount of energy. And I just click, and they're both done. It's the reply that, I don't like to retype generally the same message 5 different times to 5 different people. So I do some cut and paste, and everybody, whatever, people can rag about what I do, but that's what I do. I can't retype. It's not something I can do. But anyway, I'm coming along on the comments, but I got a little freaked out. And what happened to my little Miss B? Miss B, where'd you go, girl? You're just listening? Come on. You don't just listen, do you? So, Sifa, haha, thank you, Liza. Amen. So, okay. Neither of y'all have to correct me, because I thought I was right the first time. And I thought that was verified. And then now I think I have new information that I've been wrong for both y'all. But Hi, B server. Okay, you can just listen. That's fine. I didn't know. Hi. I always like having you here. And you can come up. I know I forget what your comment said exactly. I like to quote it exactly, but something like, I'll come up in a bit or something. So you feel free to let me know when that is, and I can drop the link. And Liza, you too, when you're finished with your popcorn, you come on up. Oh, no, popcorn was 2 nights ago. But I bet that's a pattern. I bet you like popcorn. I like popcorn. So anyway, so I don't know what I was talking about. Something. Okay, so I was pretty confident that I said Sitha the right way, and that I said Liza the right way. And then I think people told me that it was not that way. And Liza even told a story about herself. And Liza, you know how if I tell a story about Joe, I go, oh, and then Joe said this. But instead of that, it would be, and then Joey or Yahweh said this. It was a completely, anyway, I think Liza said Lisa, long E. You say both names correct. That's what I thought for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks. But I got a little confused with Mom and Scarlett. I thought she was like, she knew she was right. And I was like, no, I think you're, but I didn't want to, I don't care who's wrong. I just want to make sure I'm right. So it's not like, I don't. But she told a story, and she said Lisa was the story, which could have been, I think she was talking about, friends of friends of friends, and maybe she was making fun of them for not knowing the name. But not much privacy here. I'm going to have to be a little quiet. So you say both names correct. Well, thank you. Almost finished with the popcorn. LOL. Liza, are you like 95 pounds soaking wet? Is that all you eat for dinner? Oh, okay. So it's 9 o'clock there. So this might be post dinner. That may not be your dinner. Now I'm doubting if I'm saying her name right. Well, she, but no, Sifa, I think we're correct. But she told the story. It was like 2 nights ago. And I was like, wait a minute. Now, I always like to say people's names correctly, but then when I work on it too much, then there's so much static that I'll never remember it. And like SF that was in here last night, and I guess we didn't get information to her quick enough, but she seemed to be getting a little upset about her name, and she was like, just call me SF. And I'm like, I just read what's there. If Liza came in and she said, hi, my name's Liza, but I like to be called Rebecca, I would never remember that because it's not written in her name at all. And if Sifa came in and he said, hi, my name's Sifa, but could you call me Peter? And I'd be like, no, I'll never see it in your name. If it says Peter in there, then I'll remember it. But so anyway. So, okay, we do have the same video from last night, and maybe I'll go cue that up. Now, we didn't get very far through it. Oh, and I put it in the name tonight. Last night I impulsively, Kalohi SF. Yeah, we didn't, anyway, I was behind on her comments, and, I didn't ask Lady V to stay real up on the comments. And anyway, I'm sure she will tell me later that she was going to give me $200 if I had just given her the link. But that's the way things happen. There's not much I can do about it. I tried to do the best I can. And I'm not set up that way. Like, she said she was going to get it in my description. So earlier today, I went to my description. I was like, oh, it's not there. So I tried. I'm about 60%. You can't please everyone. Yeah, although she's here a lot. I mean, I'm surprised. But yeah, you're right. I can't. But I mean, she's here pretty often. I guess it just upset her that we, if I kept asking for a certain link and it didn't show up, I'd get pretty pissed too. But it was there. You not only saw it, Sifa, but it worked for you. And Lady V saw it, and you had already tested it. So I mean, for some reason it wasn't showing up on her device or something. I don't know. So anyway, send out the link. I'll come up there with you. All right. Go be Survivor. So invite, copy, copied, X to close, post a comment, right click, paste, and enter. Press enter to send. Oh, let me try that. Oh, that worked. I always do the clicking on the mouse pad. It was working, so I'm not sure what was going on for her. And yeah, that was strange. That was kind of strange. But anyway, I do what I can. So yeah, there you go, B. We can certainly talk for as long as you want. I wouldn't mind hearing. You could have the floor for hours. I mean, I don't want to hear anything y'all were talking about. Although I could hear y'all for a little bit. But it was weird. I had never experienced my backstage. So I might want to try testing my backstage with me in my backstage to see what has actually happened. Be Survivor. So you always enter with device not supported. And then within a second or so, it pops ready. So it'll mystify me to the end of the day. Okay. So here's Be Survivor. Let me see here. So add the stream in 3, 2, 1. Hi, B. How are you?
Hey, Joe. How are you?
Good, thanks. I'm glad you came up. Thank you very much.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, anytime. Now, we can show the movie as always, and we can talk about whatever as always. And I don't want you to tell me anything y'all talked about last night. But I would love to hear. How the hell did it happen? I mean, I didn't, Lady V was like, oh, Joe, you can just log off. See you later. Bye. And I was like, what are you talking about? Which button do I hit like end broadcast or leave studio? And she's like, oh, I was like, can I turn off my laptop? And she's like, I don't know. I think so. And so it was the wildest thing. And you probably already heard my story where I started walking to my car and it was getting glitchy. So I came back inside and gave y'all 20 minutes and I was talking to you, but you could see me, and Lady V was waving. And so finally I got onto the audio and I said, hey, can you all hear me? And you all said yes. And I'm like, what is going on? How can you?
Yeah.
And so finally I said, I mean, sometime I'm going to go to my car and we're going to lose all Wi-Fi. And I said, but maybe I can just even turn off my laptop. So when I did that last night, when I turned off my laptop, I knew 100% sure that you all were cut off. And clearly that did not happen. So
no.
That's the end of my story. So how was that?
It was so funny because we could see you and obviously you were muted or whatever. And we were just talking and then you got a little fuzzy and like, I don't know, stroby, I guess.
Yeah.
And then eventually you just were gone, but we were all still talking. And then Lady V at one point got knocked out. And it was after you were in your car, I assume. And so we couldn't invite her back in. So then me and Liza just spoke to each other for a little while after that. It was really funny.
Oh, okay. So there was a time that Lady V left but couldn't come back in, but you two could keep talking.
Yeah, we talked for a little while. I've actually been awake literally ever since then. I haven't slept, so I'm a little slow.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. I got off that with them and then had like a burst of energy and cleaned my house, and I've just been up ever since. So, but yeah, it was really interesting. I couldn't believe how long we were able to talk.
So it's 9 p.m. for you right now?
Yeah, it's 9:19.
And we probably ended last night at 2 a.m. So you're saying from 2 a.m. to 9 p.m. you've been up?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. And I completely relate with you when you say, my schedule's kind of messed up, and when I'm tired, I go to sleep, and when I'm hungry, I eat. Because I do that. It's not 9 to 5 for sure.
No, mine's really messed up. But it
Well,
was really interesting, and thank you for letting us do that because we had a good time.
well, I'm glad it worked. I didn't. I've always known there was a backstage, and I thought I had experienced a backstage, but I haven't. So I might just want to do that as a test of. I don't, I think Brittany just says, hey, if all my panel can just stay on board at the panel, and I'm going to end the stream, and then we can talk backstage. So anyway, if we ever get to that point tonight, I'd just like to test it for 10 or 15 minutes just to go, what the hell is this? What is this backstage? So,
yeah, it was cool. And I went back and checked the stream to make sure that we actually cut off and like you couldn't hear us talking. So,
and it did cut off when I ended it, or
yeah, right, as soon as you walked out. Yeah,
the first
well,
time.
as soon as
Okay.
you ended it and you said you had to go. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Cool.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So what's going on? What do you? I haven't done much at all. There's I was kind of lost without the library today, but because of Martin Luther King Jr. Day, which is good that there's a holiday, but I like the library, and I really want to print up I'm just so far behind. Like when I go to Lost Souls, she is like reading just these phenomenal things, and I'm like, where do you get those? But I guess one was a discovery or something from the defendant. And I'm like, I want that. So anyway, I saw JLR, John Lee, someone.
Jonathan Lee Richards,
Richards, or I think he shortens his last name as a joke. I think it's Riches, but that's not really his last name. Anyway,
yeah.
I saw where it said Brian, K Butt demands Dylan Mortensen's phone number.
All right.
I'm like, come on, what the hell is that? And
I
so
don't know.
so he shows the discovery, and essentially that's what it is. The defense is demanding that the prosecutors give all this information. Anybody that might be witnesses, anybody that might be this, anybody, and his name, address, phone number, and all pertinent information for these people. And I'm like, that ought to be, yes, if I do want the discovery. I don't know how to get it because I need to print it up. But yes, I want the discovery. But I mean, that's old news. And you probably got it for Scarlett, but Scarlett had that like 4 days ago or 3 days ago. And I'm like, where the F does she get these things? So
I tried to send her something the other night. I don't know if she saw it. I don't know what it is, but it's on a document. And okay, I'm really tired, so let me think before I speak so I don't misspeak. But there was something about the victims, the list of the victims, like it said Dylan Mortensen, and then there was another set of initials, SL and KL, and that they also were not to be contacted by Kohberger in any way, shape, or form.
Oh, wow.
And, yeah, and so, but I don't know. I don't know. This guy was reading from a document, the same one I've seen on everybody else's channels too. And so now I'm all, who's SL and KL? And I don't know. It's just really weird. And why would they be on the, oh my God, what is it called? Like the no contact witness, the
Right.
surviving witness. Yeah, it's so weird. I don't know. So that's something interesting. And I sent that to Scarlett to see maybe if she could look into it, but I don't know if she got my email.
Well, there seems to be a conflict here. So let's show the two comments. Sifa says, oh, yes, that's the no contact list. And then Liza says the defense needs everything. I read the discovery fast. It made sense to me. So Liza, do you think it is true that the prosecutor must turn over Dylan's phone number and address to not Brian, but to the defense? Do they have to send? Is it mandatory? Do they have to send that? That's what it sounds like, which is in conflict with the no contact list,
Yeah, that's weird.
And maybe the no contact list is the exception. Like they have to do the entire discovery, but this exception. But of course you'd put Dylan on there. Of course you'd put Bethany on there. Of course you'd put, I can't think of anybody else. But yep. Liza says yep. I think that means yes. They have to turn that over. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Really?
I bet he just gets jollies out of that.
Oh, I'm sure of it.
To get her.
Oh, Dylan. Ugh, that must suck.
God, that must suck. Golly. So anyway, they are talking about the SIFA. It sounds like, let me read all these comments. It sounds like Liza wants and needs the thing just as much as I do. So he said it was working, so I'm not sure it was okay, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so just to do a little repeat here, SIFA, do you want to discover? Absolutely. You already heard that. Inside Edition has it. I'm downloading the PDF from Inside Edition, and I'll send it to you. Thanks.
SIFA is so good.
Isn't he a rock star? He is.
Rock star.
He's a rock star's rock star. I mean, he's like off the chart.
Absolutely.
Amen. So let's see here. The defense needs everything. I read the discovery fast. It made sense to me. Now, Liza, you mystify me beyond all belief, but you don't seem like a fast reader to me. You seem like a meticulous reader to me. So when you put fast in there, do you mean that you might be 95% correct? Like there's something you missed? Because you seem so meticulous. So when I read something, I read it more than once, but it's always slow. It's methodical. It's every word, every word, every word. So I'm just wondering about the word fast. I read the discovery fast. It made sense to me. That's it. I'm just in awe. You know everything. You know a lot. And B, I'll get back to you. Let me just try to catch up on these things.
Yeah, no,
SIFA. Oh, yes, that's the no contact list. And Liza, to SIFA, if you have it, please. Oh, Inside Edition. You don't like that? You don't like them? Hey, they're information. I don't know if I have an opinion about them, but if they have a PDF, I want that for sure. Which one, Liza? And then she said, yep, to me, I think, SIFA. So hopefully she's, Liza, are you asking for the discovery PDF? Joe, I sent it to you on Twitter. Holy poop. How does he do that? I'm staring at my laptop.
Did that just come out today?
Not the discovery I'm talking about. The one, I mean, I don't know for sure what I'm talking about. Scarlett on Lost Souls was reading something that had the same numeration that Johnny Lee Hooker or Johnny, JLR had on his. So I think it's the exact same thing. But Scarlett read it 4 days ago. It was hot off the press when she was reading
on top of it.
Yeah, man, I just don't get that. So okay, I'm in between Wi-Fi right now. So he can have the number, but he cannot contact them. Is two different issues. I don't know. If you tell a stalker that they can't call someone, I don't know if that really works. I mean, and I know he's not sitting there with a phone, and he's not sitting there with the phone number. He's in jail, but his lawyer can probably get that stuff to him.
I wonder, is that, because I know nothing, is that normal for his attorney to want to talk to her? Like, do you think that's normal, or do they know if that's normal? Does Liza know?
Yeah, right. She's definitely the person we should be asking. But since I'm on the panel right now, maybe I'll just get my 2 cents worth. Hey, Tree Baby, Tennessee, it's good to see you. I do believe they have the right to everything. They have the right to all witnesses and all those words. All the witnesses and the people on the prosecution and they're entitled to all that information. So it just so happens to scoop up Dylan's phone number. That just happens to be part of that description. But yeah, I think in every, I don't know, ask Liza. So
yeah, I'm a bad guest. I'm sorry. I know nothing.
Oh, no, you're a great guest. You don't have to know anything. And you know a lot more. You know your perception. That's the key part.
Yeah.
So SIFA, Liza, can you message me on Twitter and I'll send it to you? I don't think she's on Twitter. Although I guess a day or two ago, she said she's the necessary evil. I think of Facebook as the necessary evil. I hate it, but I think everybody has to be on it. So I think Liza, will you talk to me on Twitter? How come? But anyway, yeah. And then thank you, B Survivor. Amen.
You're welcome.
And Tree Baby Tennessee. Hey, Joe, be safe out there. By the way, Tree Baby, when I started this stream, Ara, you're always a rock star. You always show up. And Ara, it's great to see you. Tree Baby, I was talking earlier about I can't quite figure out YouTube video, YouTube channel and YouTube studio. I have both, but I think they're the exact same fucking thing. But I get messages from both. If anybody ever sends me a comment or a message or whatever they're called, I will not ignore you. If I know it exists, I'm going to reply. I'm going to do a thumbs up, unless you're saying my mother, whatever. I'll give it a thumbs up. I'll give it a heart because my last name's Hart, and then I'll give a comment. And if you don't get those from me, I didn't find them. So anyway, Tree Baby, it took me a couple of days to find yours. And then I thought, oh, great. And then I started this stream a couple hours ago. I was setting it up. And I found 9 more comments. So I don't know where they come from. I don't know how to do that. Hey, Ara, how you doing? Do you want to come up? Feel free to come up and stuff. What are you hoping to do in Idaho? What great question. My mind's racing, but I'm disabled, so I get all messed up. So, okay, did I skip Tree Baby? Okay. Tree Baby, Tennessee. Hey, Joe, be safe out there. Thank you. I appreciated your comment, and I'm glad I found yours, and I'm glad I responded. Hey, Joe, glad to see you're well. Yeah, I was a little concerned about myself too, for sure. But I'm out here. I drove 38 hours straight. That's 38 hours without gas breaks and bathroom breaks and food breaks and resting breaks. That's 38 hours driving by my iPhone, and it was exactly precise. It was 38 hours. And so I drove 38 hours for a 10-minute court case. It started at 8:07 and it ended at 8:17. So that's what happened. And I took a risk. I lost. I think I can reevaluate. I think I can turn the trip around. Every day, B and Liza and Lady V and Sifa can probably verify that I'm seems to be getting better and better every day. So I do hope. Plus, today's Martin Luther King. I wanted to go to anyway. I can never tell a story because I always want to preface with all the challenges I have. But Moscow's still an hour and 40 minutes away. So once I go to Moscow, there's no shower, there's no truck stop, there's no nothing. So it's an investment. I can't go there every day because that's too much driving. And if I go every other day, then that, or every third day, then it gets even crazier. But anyway, so I don't know if that answered your question. What are you hoping to do in Idaho? I keep thinking of all the stuff that I could do. And, I have synapses that don't work. So I can think of, you could ask me an hour from now and I'll give you 10 different answers. But I try to write it down, but you ought to see my very disorganized Post-it notes. But in no particular order, I would like to interview both vape locations, the video one and the one that's saying there's a stalker. And I want to eat at Jack in the Box in Pullman, which is where Xana's last meal was from. I want to eat at the Grub Truckers for similar reason. I wouldn't mind trying to find Joe V, even though he blocked me. I would definitely talk to him again.
He blocked you?
Yeah. He didn't he didn't appreciate my questions on TikTok.
Oh.
Yeah, well, that's all right. I don't usually have filters, so it didn't go too well. But
it's okay.
Yeah. It was in 3 different sessions, and I just wanted him to hear the question, and I knew he was not going to answer the question. So I I was successful in that plan. He did hear the question, and I knew he wasn't going to answer it. I thought he might block me, but I knew he wasn't going to answer it. So I'm glad I asked him.
It's worth a try.
And Tree Baby 10, thank you. You are sweet. I got him. Thank you. Thank you, Tree Baby. Thanks for the encouragement and all that stuff. And Ara, are you still there, Ara? You want to come up? Ara was now it's been so long, I kind of forget where Ara and I were on panel together. I think it was Lost Souls, I think. I forget, but I think it's Lost Souls. So Liza, most discoveries ask for a lot. Most of the time. Most discoveries ask for a lot. Most of the time, the judge will say yes to the discovery petitions, unless the prosecution has a problem. Santa Claus better have a problem with Dylan's phone number and address, for sure, unless the prosecution has a problem. And that's when the fun begins for me. Oh, Liza, you have such fun. And in Tree Baby, Tennessee, you only live once. Be happy. Be happy. Don't worry. No, I'm a huge worrywart. So I think we're caught up. What do you did you want to go back on any of these comments, B? What do you want to talk about? I should have stopped on each comment and see what you wanted to say about any of them.
I'm just interested. Well, I was really just interested to see if it was normal. For, like, the defense attorney, because I just don't know anything, and so everything seems weird to me. But I guess that's normal.
It sounds like from Liza that they can ask for a lot, and most of the time the judge will say yes to the discovery petitions. And now she has plural. I don't know if the prosecution has a list of what they have to demand for also. I mean, it makes sense that it would go in both directions, but I'm sure the prosecution has a lot more information than the defense does right now. But
yeah,
I assume they both can. So. I'm sorry, what was that, B?
I said I hope so.
Yeah, hopefully we. I don't know if I'm. Yeah, the prosecution. Hopefully the prosecution has a good head start for sure. Because it seems like it might be not a slam dunk, or it. Who knows?
In the beginning, I thought it was a slam dunk, and now I'm getting a little more worried. And apparently, his defense attorney is really good. And yikes!
Yes, I'm exactly every single word you said.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm so tired.
No problem. And don't feel like you have to stay up here. I mean, it can.
Oh, no. I want to be up here. If I'm mumbling and bumbling and I'm not making sense, I'm sorry.
You can do anything you want. So, Sifa, I sent you a message on Twitter. The Moscow PD has a bunch of documents on that link. Oh, wow. Cool. Now, I don't know how I'm going to print from my Moscow. Ooh. I'm going to just see how well this thing goes. Oh, news releases, and then news releases, and print messages, summary, assigned. Cool. I'll find something there. Looks like there's plenty to print up there. So thank you very much, Sifa. I appreciate that. So, So we are caught up on comments, and Liza will probably actually tell me when she's done with popcorn. Tree Baby, you're welcome to come up too. Most of and Ara, I didn't get an answer from you, but you're welcome. And Sweet Melissa, you are welcome to come up. I don't know if my stream has a certain theme or not, but it does appear that there are people that are usually a little hesitant about going up on a panel, ends up feeling pretty comfortable on mine. And there is Liza. So she is done with her popcorn. Uh-oh. So B, you ready for Liza?
I am so ready for Liza.
Okay, add to stream in 3, 2, 1. Hey, Liza, how are you?
How are you, everybody?
Liza!
So, Liza, how was it fun talking last night when no one was here?
You know how you call it, chic stock. I don't know. It was fun. I mean,
What
yeah.
what is cheek stock?
Well, women. We started the
Oh,
first
okay.
2 minutes with one issue and one theme, and then we change to another one. It's like a merry-go-round.
There was all kinds of things, nails and all
Yes,
sorts of stuff.
we cover half of the world. It's just, yeah.
Well, that's cool. I'm glad it worked. I didn't, Lady V was helping me on how to do it. I didn't know I could just bail and y'all could keep talking. So that was cool.
I
Yeah,
didn't know that. That was the first time for me that
yeah.
I thought that the the person that initiated the stream, the internet had to stay in the same place, and it doesn't.
Right.
Yeah, we were just chilling.
Well, that's cool. I mean, and last night's internet was not exceptionally well. Tonight's is like, it's I don't know if you do those Wi-Fi speed tests, but I do them all the time. But
It was kind of like, oops, sorry.
no, that's all right. What were you going to say?
I was gonna say it was kind of like we were all hanging out in your living room while you were like out at the grocery store or something.
That's what it kind of felt like to me too, and I've never experienced it. Although I did in a past life, my ex-wife and I owned a theater, so I really understand the word green room, and I really understand backstage. So I kind of consider it, that I have a theater here, and you all were just backstage when I wasn't even there. So,
Oh, it was kind of funny.
yeah, that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool. So, like I said, we can keep showing that show tonight, and the special report, and I've got it in the description, as Sifa said, might help my chances of not getting blocked and stuff, or struck. But so Liza, since you're here, why don't you kind of summarize what I've been saying and what you've been typing and what B has been saying as far as Dylan's information goes? So you're saying, anyway, I'll stop talking. Can you give a good summary of that, the discovery?
Well, I I haven't read. I said it yesterday. I was going to read it, but I haven't read the law according to Idaho for it. But federal, when you're the suspect, you have the right to everything that they are accusing you for. I mean, you need everything that the prosecution is telling that it's saying that you did.
Makes sense.
And if a person, like if a person is it will give testimony against you, well, your lawyer, it's more about the lawyer. Your lawyer needs to know how to contact that person. If the lawyer, it's it's more than, I think it's more than, if the, to say, to know if the person is in the country, if it, to know if the person is in which state, and something like that.
Okay.
But you will have, like, in the, what it was, the 70s and the 80s, that those um, how do you call them? God. Um, when you have protected
Witness protection.
witness protection, yes, and then of course the judge will say, in your dreams.
Don't you think? Don't you think Dylan is in witness protection?
Well, nobody had said so, and since they are not saying so, she's not.
That doesn't mean she can just walk around, does it? I mean, don't you think the FBI is at least paying for a hotel and watching outside of her door?
I don't think so.
Really?
It's very expensive.
Didn't they allegedly get like some news outlet get pictures of her on a jog or something?
Yeah, I saw some pictures, but I don't know.
I mean, I didn't think it was her, but
But it's very expensive, because when you put you need marshals, not the FBI, unless it's a federal issue. And as we talked yesterday, it's not a federal issue. Then you will need marshals. and you have to pull them from somewhere. You have to pay them it's expensive.
Mm.
It's very expensive. And
Hmm.
they
Now-
haven't said that she's in,
So even though I'm a male, I guess I jump around from topic to topic also. And so yesterday you were talking about how I think you were saying why isn't an FBI case because he committed the crime in Idaho and he lives in Washington, so that's 2 states. But he was also caught in Pennsylvania, so that's 3 states. So why isn't it not FBI?
It was this lady that put it in my mind because this case, for some people, I was watching today and talking with, for some people, is
Hi, Angie.
not complicated. Hello, Angie. And for other people like me, I think that this is like the case of the century, or at least for the first of this century. It has so much DNA and so much technology that in other cases that the people that think like me that this guy is an SK, none of our SKs before has so much technology involved on their cases. Yes, a little bit of DNA here and there, but here is cameras, DNA, cell towers. We don't have a weapon.
Mm.
We don't know if we have a very strong eyewitness.
Mm.
This is kind of new, at least to me. I mean, probably other states have done this, New York or LA, this way, but I have never seen it, in Middle America like this.
Yeah, Idaho is much smaller for sure. I'm going to just read Angie's comment. Thank you for the comment, Angie, and thanks for not lurking. I call it listening instead of lurking, but I'm glad. Anyway, Angie says, I kind of think she might have been in protection or hiding at least until he was arrested. But that's just my speculation. Hi, by the way, I've been lurking doing dishes. Well, hi, Angie, and I know you used to go by Mama Bear, I do believe, so it's good to have you, Angie. So, what, B?
That would make sense. Like if she was in it until he was arrested.
And I mean, when I'm thinking, Liza just said that, the lawyer's getting that information, not necessarily Brian, but I'm thinking of Silence of the Lambs movie, and that, no matter what people think Brian can and can't do, he might do something that's pretty spectacular. So anyway.
No, I agree on that, Joe, I do agree with you. He will be very involved on his everything.
And okay, Liza, the $10 million question. This is all the marbles, Liza. Do you think he will fire his lawyers at some point in time?
I don't think so.
Wow, really? I don't think so either, but it's worth a thought.
I don't know that much about, what is her name? Ann Taylor?
Yeah, Ann Taylor, yes.
I know, something like that. But she seems good. The little I read about her.
Yeah.
And,
yeah, it's a bummer.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a wicked bummer.
It's good because he cannot come back and say I had bad representation.
That's true. That's true.
Then it's okay, and she will need tons of tags, and she will need probably 4 more or 5 lawyers for this case.
Wow.
She's not gonna, and tech people, and this thing is gonna cost a pretty penny.
And they're all public defenders?
No. Not. I don't think that she will be able to find them all. there. But that's another thing. Where is going to the trial is going to stay there?
Yeah, good point.
You know, what if they move the trial to, I don't know,
Right.
Alaska? I don't know where they
So-
can move that thing and nobody has heard about it.
So I didn't notice much in Pennsylvania about the courtroom because I wasn't in there I didn't notice much before the courtroom, but in Idaho, I thought I noticed. I'm pretty sure I noticed there was a male lawyer next to Ann Taylor. Do you happen to know who the second lawyer is?
No, I didn't. You were there. I was so fixated on her and him that, or maybe the camera. I have to go back and look at the.
Now,
Wow.
I'm just talking about, how there's a real small table for the prosecution and a real small table for the defense. There was a guy sitting next to her. So I just assumed that was another lawyer, but he was taller and skinnier and had a beard of sort. I'm not good at describing people, but maybe a reddish beard or kind of small. He's a small frame guy, but I think he was smiling. He was kind of jovial or whatever, or not jovial. That's not a good description. But anyway, I don't know if other people sit at those tables, like transcribers, or I don't know if anybody else sits at those.
It will be just the team from his team.
That's what I thought.
But not. It will be lawyers, and in case you have expert witness, no, the expert witness will come from other place. No, it will be his team.
Really?
Yeah.
I think I started doing research.
Who?
And I think.
Somebody else noticed it. Maybe somebody else in the chat knows. Sifa knows a lot.
Yeah, Sifa probably already got that for Scarlett probably has already discussed them. But I think when I initially started searching for them, I think I did see a name. Like some name came up and I'm like, oh, that's who I'm trying to, but I didn't jot it. I wasn't ready to print it up and do, it just flew by me. So I think the name is readily acceptable, but I have to print it up and find out where he's from and, that kind of stuff. But, and I've heard that it would be 4 or 5 lawyers, and you're saying it could be 5 or 6 lawyers, but that's a hell of a team. Now is there still going to be, Johnny Cochran with OJ Simpson? Is there going to be any, what's that word? Celebrity? Is there going to be any celebrity lawyers that will do it for free?
In this world, with this economy, if I was, I'm just gonna tell you the truth. If I had passed the bar exam in Idaho, and I was a celebrity lawyer, heck yes, I would.
Because fame could be worth a lot more than the money, right? Or not fame, but just the whole, the whole thing.
It's advertising, and one thing that people go to court and think that the lawyer is fighting for you. No, the lawyer is fighting for their paycheck.
Okay.
The problem that you have with your ex-wife or with your kid or with your ex-employer, yes, the lawyer said, I don't understand, blah, blah, blah. They go home and they take, they have their problems at home. They if they care so much about the people that they work with, they couldn't, you could not have a life. It's not possible.
I'm sure.
Then it's a good, well, probably a good one will wait until the first, you said that maybe 5 weeks after June. When is this coming back?
June 26th.
June 26th. Those first weeks to see what's going on, to see the waters. Yeah.
So if he had 5 lawyers, you're saying it wouldn't happen before June 26th? It would happen after June 26th?
it will happen. Right now they are looking for people. Because not everybody goes to to law school and specialize in 3 different things. You have criminal criminal law that has to do with bankruptcy, or it's different.
Right.
Then you need all the different abilities there. But a big wig lawyer,
Do you need that?
I don't know which could be. I'm thinking about somebody. They will think, how much they can use this trial in their advancement. It's like that. I mean, if you look back in OJ, everybody wrote a book. Everybody had a TV show. I mean, even the lady that lost.
Yeah, the prosecution. Yeah,
Yes.
she wrote a bestseller too.
and had a TV show or some. I think I saw something about her in Netflix or one of these.
Yeah, Marcia someone.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oops.
B, come on
Somebody's
back.
phone.
But wow, so and I was just gonna say, I think I've been around B too long that I start thinking of all options. But just a crazy question, Liza. If someone is not qualified to practice in Idaho, can they become qualified within 5 months?
Whoop. I don't know. I have to read the law in Idaho, but
Welcome back, B.
Sorry about that.
Marcia Clark. There it is. Sifa had the name. I knew the Marcia part, but I forgot her last name. But so yeah, okay. Well, no, that's I bet there's enough celebrities that already want to get involved in this.
yeah. But if you have good lawyers, you have smart. It's like everything. Sometimes you have smart people that can pass the bar fast. And then you have people that you think that are smart, that they are smart, that they pass the bar in their 5th try.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess it's all kinds. Yeah.
It's like everything in life. It's like a doctor. You go to the doctor, tell them your problems, and it's a special hour for you. It's costing you an arm and leg, and they, yes. The minute you cross that door, they forget you.
No.
I know too much about that.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, me too. Yeah. Yuck. So B, what do you think? What do you were you having device challenges?
I clicked on something and it took me to a Google page. I don't know. Oops.
I've done that before too. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't know. This whole thing is just crazy to me. Now, like Liza, so how the defense can get like all the information from the prosecution. I assume that's the same that the prosecution can get all the information from the defense too.
No, because the prosecution is the one that have to prove. They have the burden of proof.
No, you're right. Okay, that makes sense.
I'm the defense, and maybe I can stumble on something that says that my client is guilty, but I'm gonna keep that.
Yeah. Okay.
In a vault.
That's common sense. I'm sorry.
No, but sometimes.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Unless it's national security, you are not. If it's something about national security, the lawyer will have to give it to then it's another game.
Yeah.
But in this case, no. But then we have that seal warrant that I was
Yes. Oh my God! I can't believe I forgot about that.
Yeah. What is there?
What do you guys think? What do you think that's all about? Like, what could be so? I know we've probably talked about this a million times, But
I don't
like,
know anything about it.
I
like, what
have
do you
so
think is
many
in there?
theories.
You do? Oh, I just
It,
can't
it,
even.
I have so many theories that it's not even funny. I mean, it's like the Bermuda Triangle. It happened. It is a line there. It's not a line there. It's the
Yeah,
earth. You
that's
know,
where I'm at.
I
I
went
don't
to
even
the
know.
point that I went to the point like, okay, I'm just gonna wait
Hmm.
because I'm going crazy here.
When are they opening that? March?
Yeah. Yes. Right.
I'm sure Sifa knows. So it's a sealed warrant? Is that what it is?
It's a seal. Yes.
Oh wait, you haven't heard about this, Joe?
I have not heard anything about what you're talking about. Nothing.
Oh Lord.
Oh,
Oh, let's
Please
talk about it.
educate me. Please.
Yeah, like Liza's probably way better at explaining it than I am, but
well,
something.
you don't know more than I do about. Go
Yeah.
ahead. It's
Yeah,
just
but
a seal warrant.
they sealed it and said like it would be a
It's a
threat
sealed
to
warrant.
public
Sifa.
and
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Go ahead, B.
I think they said it was going to be like a threat to the public or the police or something. Help me out, Liza.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If when they went to his apartment, they had a seal warrant. We don't know what the police took from that place.
Ooh.
And the basis that they 2 or 3, I don't have it in front of me, and my Lisa and her computer are not having a good time the last 2 days. But as the survivor said, yes, it could be if it is known, it could be a threat to Moscow police. 2 seconds, please.
Wow. That's
I'm sorry.
that's wild.
Ah,
Go ahead.
yeah, had to say good night to the babies.
All right. Cool.
Yeah, a threat for the public, Moscow police, and I think that I'm not sure, but they said that it could be a problem for the case.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I'm like, what?
And Sifa says March also. So, uh-oh. Did I just lose both of y'all? Something I did? Help. Hello, hello, hello. Sifa, can you still hear me? Oh, there's B server. Welcome back, B.
Oh my God, I'm so sorry. Where'd Liza go?
I know you both left at the same time. I was like,
Oh,
I had to do something if y'all.
yeah, it said something went wrong. Try again, so I just tried again.
Liza, yes, I can. Okay, good, Sifa. I asked him if he could hear me because I didn't know.
That was really weird.
Anyway, usually if 2 people have something go wrong, then it's me, not them. But if one
The
person has something,
conspiracy, they don't want us talking about it.
Mhm. Yeah, the sealed warrant. Oh,
Yeah, I thought that was a big deal. Like, maybe it could not be. I mean, everything to me is a big deal, but I mean, a threat to law enforcement. What?
yeah, you never know. I mean, this is a pretty unique. And there is Liza. Hey, Valera, how are you? Warrington was for Kohlberger's apartment. Cool.
Yeah.
There's Liza. Welcome back, Liza. I hope I
Yeah.
didn't boot. Did I boot you?
I don't know what happened.
I don't know either. Welcome back.
I got kicked out too.
Yeah, at the
Oh, you
same
too?
time.
Okay, it was not me.
We were talking about the sealed warrant, and everybody was sent out of here.
Yeah, they booted us
Oh.
out. They were like,
You
no,
see, I
no
told
way.
you the Bermuda Triangle.
Yeah, that's what I said. Conspiracy theory.
You brought it up.
Ooh.
So Valera, it's good to see you. Thanks for being here. And she says the warrant was for Kohlberger's apartment, and I think he had 2. Oh, well, he had an apartment and an office. So I guess you're talking about the apartment. And then it says warrant was sealed before the arrest.
That's another thing that it's He's eating me alive. Because
Yeah, what does that mean? Why?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't follow that entirely. So was the warrant open and people could have read it, but we didn't?
no,
And now it's
before
closed?
they did something.
Thanks, Sefa.
This is just how they say allegedly,
Yep.
Okay.
but the we know that on the affidavit we are missing parts of the affidavit. We don't have everything there
Okay.
because with that affidavit, I'm thinking a judge will not sign that because it has too many holes. But it's what we are reading that has too many holes because it doesn't. We don't have the complete affidavit.
Now, would the judge have the complete affidavit?
He will.
Oh.
Then
Uh-huh.
he and sometimes I heard that it happened in Washington once. Once the DA told me in Washington that you can explain to the judge why you are not putting something in the affidavit, and the judge will give you, tread carefully, and it will give you a break because it will be too bad for the case to reveal certain things for the case or for your witnesses too.
Wow.
Maybe
Now,
we don't know if we have another witness and it's not in an affidavit.
now, if I could interject, I'm going to just read all of Valera's comments. She
Oh, yeah.
seems quite knowledgeable, and I like her being in my stream. I like seeing her in all the streams, and I'm just way behind. I'm just trying to survive out in Idaho, so I'm way behind on research and that kind of stuff. But yeah, I'm going to just plow through each one. So she started with the warrant was for Koberger's apartment. Warrant was sealed before arrest. Um, that's why the danger. And you two were talking about something. I knew it at the time, but I forget what y'all were talking about. But she said that's why the danger. And then no, not a big deal now. And they can unseal it at any time now. So we may not have to wait until March. Is that what you're saying, Valerie? So yeah, that's all her comments. I just wanted to read them all at the same time.
Well, let's open it now.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm impatient. I want it now.
Super impatient.
From a news article.
Yeah, I got it, Sif. I've gotten all your things, 3 or 4 things so far tonight. Thank you so much. And that looks like a very interesting news article for sure. See what you get with Twitter? Twitter's great, everybody. Sign up for Twitter. Yeah, Liza, what were you saying about Twitter? That it's the necessary evil that you may have to re-embrace it?
Yes, but my Twitter, since I was very it's a lot of politics and a lot of things that I want to leave behind, and my kids say just make a new one, mother. Yeah,
I have 3 accounts. You know,
Oh,
as long as you have an email, you can set up another account.
well,
that's what they told me. They told me all these things, and I'm like, I barely can keep up with the ones I have.
And they try to get you to have 3 phone numbers with 3 accounts, but I have the same phone number on all 3. That's not supposed to happen, but it did happen. I think I was grandfathered in. So you're supposed to
I
have
an old phone number with mine because something happened and it just stayed there, and I'm not moving it.
Well, cool.
because I am afraid of. There's some people in the internet that that are kind of creepy.
Yeah. Oh yeah. They're everywhere. Yes, be careful.
We have the complete affidavit, but the state probably has much more evidence. Well, we have the affidavit, but the affidavit, let me look at, I have my phone back.
The affidavit never has all the evidence. Amen. I knew that. I knew affidavits are generally very minimal, They just need to do two things, and I hope I can not butcher it. They do it so that the judge knows that you have the right person and that you're able to charge them with the charges that you want to charge them with. I think that's what the affidavit is supposed to. So they're usually very minimal. And this was 18 pages, which is huge. But yeah, I don't think anybody accepts that it's all of it. Now, I have a question. I think you were dancing around this topic just right now, Liza. And I think I've asked this multiple times before, even with you. But when the affidavit first came out, everybody's copy had blank, page 2 completely blank.
Yeah,
And
that's what I was. I'm sorry. That was.
Yeah.
It is the fact that it's redacted. We don't know. We don't have the complete affidavit. The judge, have it. You know.
Now
the defense have it.
The who does?
The defense have the.
Oh, the defense.
Affidavit.
Okay.
Yes. Everybody of it did, but we, for the public, we don't have it. And there's more, and it could be anything. I mean, maybe for all we know, they have the knife.
They may have the knife. Yeah, that would be a pretty phenomenal thing.
Yeah.
Now,
I have no clue what is redacted out of that affidavit.
Now, we've all seen redacted pages. We all have seen redacted pages where the entire page was blacked out. Every single word was blacked out, but they still gave you the page. This was a completely white page. So it wasn't even, it was weird, you know, like now, anyway, my extended question, I'm starting now to get an idea that Brian Enton might be not perfect at quoting him as the Bible, because I think he has vested interest in these things so that he may say one thing when it may not really be the thing. But anyway, they had, as soon as the affidavit came out, Brian Enton was on Banfield and he was talking about that it was, you know, it's page 1 of 19, 2 of 19, 3 of 19, 4 of 19, but 2 was completely empty. So there's really 18 pages. But they talked about it, and Banfield went crazy about the redacted page. Of course, she needs to do that kind of stuff. And I love her, but she does that kind of stuff. And anyway, I think within 24 hours, I mean, these days seem like they took forever to do, but I think within 24 hours, Brian came on TV. Again, this is where I'm now thinking I don't have to believe what he says every single time. But Brian said, we have confirmed with whoever. I don't know if he said the sheriffs, or I guess that came from the Moscow Police Department. But I think we confirmed it with the chief of police that was a completely blank piece of paper, and it was misfiling, and it really is only 18 pages. So page 2 was not redacted, and page 2 was not missing. It's supposed to go page 1 to 3. There is no page 2. And he made it sound real believable. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, I guess he's right. But like I said, I think he has a vested interest in that they might say, we'll give you page 2 as long as, printer malfunctioning. I think that's what they said. Valerie Valera said printer malfunction. But it seems like this page 2 still has a life of its own. So why is it just not a malfunction?
When we get redacted, when I used to get redacted documents, I would get the old black out statements, just a black thing in the middle of the sentence, so in the middle of the paragraph. On this one, what it doesn't, in the page number 3, after sharp force injuries, then this next paragraph, he goes and says something about the residents. I think that there's something missing in right there.
Are you saying to go from page 1 to 3? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Well,
it does seem to be a complete sentence. I'm looking at it right now. Not not a smooth sentence. It could even,
yes, it's not smooth, but then
yeah, that's what Valerie. Now, Valerie Valera, I removed page 2 because I believed Brian Enton and I discarded it. So I have an 18-page affidavit, and I think that's what we got, but I'm not really sure. Now, Valerie Valera says copied the back because of the stamp. Yeah, it's the opposite of redacted. It's the backside. You know, it doesn't say redacted. It says it in a mirror. It says opposite. And then you said, look at the wording, nothing's missing. And if you don't mind, I'll just read it, but it's not a smooth sentence. It's not like it, and it's a long sentence. Okay. I'll read 2 sentences. The bottom of page 1 to the first sentence on page 3. So, also in the room was a male later identified as Ethan Chapin, hereafter Chapin. That's one sentence. Now, this sentence is when it goes from page 1 to 3.
well, I'm sorry.
Sure.
I put, and this is my old thing. I have here from when you begin. Also in the room, 3 sentences before that, they were talking about the girls.
Yep. Xana. Yep.
But then it stops. Nothing else. We don't know where were their bodies. I mean, it seems like they gave to me that if they decide to give more information about Ethan and Xana, position of bodies and what there's something there that doesn't.
Hi from YouTube. I'm not sure who you are. I usually invite people that I know. Feel free to make a comment.
Look at the
Comment
nothing missing.
out in the audience.
Valerie could be right. Maybe it's me and my I don't believe this
Right.
kind of approach. Yeah.
And
But I felt something was missing. Plus, I think that several people wrote this because the redaction is not good at all.
oh my goodness, look at from your tube. Oh my goodness. That person is not doing nice things. What do I do? How do I get rid of him?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm not.
I guess I'm glad I can't see.
Yeah, man, that's the most graphic one I've ever had.
Oh, why do people do that?
I don't know. They like to get a reaction. He didn't get it from me, or I think it was a he, but I'm not sure. So,
Sorry.
there's a
Sorry, it was me.
okay. So I would never want to disagree with you, Liza, because your brain is way more powerful than mine. Although
no, that's not true.
what I think when it goes from page 1 to page 3, it's just a walkthrough. Like he's describing what is the first thing he saw and the second thing he saw and the third. So it wouldn't be about third floor at all. They're just talking about the second floor. And it seems like the paragraph before, it is short and concise, but it seems to be enough about Xana so that they could move on to Ethan. And then when you flip the page, which I haven't gotten to yet, it's a short paragraph. It's only the entire paragraph is 2 sentences is all.
I seem like it's strange because when he starts, he says, now I'm looking at the chat. I cannot have the affidavit in my hand, but he said, and in the right hand or to the east of the house or something like that. Yes, to the northeast or southeast of the house, it was a bathroom. I could see the bathroom, and then I entered the room, and well, why didn't talk about the bathroom in the third floor? Why didn't talk about Kaylee's room? They gave more with Ethan and Xana than with Kaylee and Maddie.
Yeah, they did.
And it's like, and sometimes it's the lawyers love to give you a lot of words to distract you, because people don't.
That's right, Angie.
They give us a lot of word. They give a lot of blah 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 blah. And in between the blah blah blah, they can put the interest and important things. If you don't catch it, it is your problem.
Wow.
They make us. I remember back in the day, they used to give us classes how to hide important information in huge transcripts. But that was 20 years ago. I don't know how they do it now.
Yeah. So Valara, she's got a couple more comments. Now it says occasionally razor, and I might have a different.
She says Occam's razor.
She corrected it, but I don't believe I don't believe the word razor is in these 18 pages. So maybe I have a different one.
Theory, Occam's razor.
It's a theory.
Yeah.
That's a theory?
Yeah.
Occam's razor.
Occam's razor.
Why does it have to be so graphic with the second word? Occam's razor. That's not cool. I don't like that name. Okay, cool. Thanks. And then she says they don't have to tell us everything. Right. They don't have to tell us anything, really. But, they need what I said from day one. They needed to have the students be safe on campus, and they needed to tell the victims' families enough stuff. And other than those two groups, which is huge, but other than those two groups, they didn't have to tell us anything anytime. We just want more information. So that's my opinion. I don't know if that's pretty accurate. And then Angie, it says, sorry, I got a phone call as soon as you started answering my comment. I'm sorry that I forget what the comment was. I'm sure my answer was great, but I'm sure I was just responding to it. So I'm sorry, you're sorry, whatever. Welcome back. And I forget what you said. So, wow, Occam's razor. So I have to learn what that is? Occam's.
It's just like, in like simple terms, it's just whatever seems the most plausible probably is. Like whatever you think probably happened, probably did. I think that's the
the simple answer, it's the answer.
Yeah.
Penny, long time no see. Hey, Penny. Hi, Joe. Hey, y'all. That's Penny Robinson.
Hey, Penny.
Yeah. She was one of my first viewers quite a while ago. So it's good to see you. So now, as far as Occam's razor, were we talking about something being way off the charts? And so she was trying to reel us back in that whatever. Exactly. So what are the two options? What is the real back option? Is that it really is 18 pages and there is not a page 2 missing?
Yeah. And somebody and somebody made a mistake, but I don't know. With lawyers,
It was written by a cop. It's written by a cop
with an FBI agent or two on his back, telling him and with yes.
That would suck. I don't like writing things, but I don't like writing things when they're standing above me.
He's a very young cop. He never deals with this kind of stuff.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
It's a big freaking case. There's words that judges don't like, and there's words then that the defense will take and say, well, no, because you said in your affidavit that, and is that true or not? And this lady likes to get rid of things that the cops say, and I don't know if he lied or not. There's something about that she got a testimony throughout because the cop lied. Sometimes the cop didn't lie. He just wrote the circumstances in a different way.
It wasn't perfect. Yeah.
Exactly. And then she can deconstruct it and said that he lied.
So, by the way, Penny, it's good to see you, and Valara, either one of you are welcome to come up if you would like. We're still evolving about my format. We have a special report that I probably won't get to, but that was one idea. But you're welcome to come up. But anyway, it says yes before the arrest by Penny, and then Valerie. It was written by a cop, and then Angie. Hello, Penny. And then Penny, I think the first page is a cover page. And yes, you corrected that later, Penny. It is not. It's straight out. And then also the other comment, Valerie said a statement by the cop. And that's where it says there. It says statement of Brett Payne. Brett Payne. And Payne was one of the gentlemen in the body cam, September 1st body cam. He was one of the guys in that one. And
yeah, I feel for him. I mean, the things that he had to see with so many kids around had to be difficult.
And Penny, I think you just came in. You say, a whole page about Ethan was redacted. That's what we're discussing. I think there is no missing page 2. I think there's tons missing from the affidavit. I'm a numbers guy. Let's just say they gave us 25 or 35% of the information they know. That's it. Just enough to give us enough. But so they gave us enough. But I don't think, LOL, I'll catch up. No, that's all right, Penny. That's what we just has been discussing. And Eliza, the one below me there, she's got legal experience. And so she's the one thinking that the sentences aren't really clear. And it seems like there is a lot of missing information on page 2. So anyway, I did want to just help you try to catch up. And in Car Crater, he wants us to talk in Hindi. I don't know Hindi. Do either of y'all know Hindi?
No.
No.
Fortunately, I don't. If I did, I would love to be able to speak it.
So I think Sifa can speak Hindi. But generally we're just all English here. So sorry about that, Core Crater 74. But welcome.
When the channel gets bigger, then I think that you could have that.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, good. I don't know if you can do a search for Hindi streams. Good luck with finding them.
You can do it.
All right, Core. Good luck.
And they have great news channels. I love them.
Do you?
Yeah, because they have Hindi and they have English. And in like the first 30 minutes, they give you Hindi, and then for another 20, they give you in English. And sometimes they have better information about the United States than we do.
Well, that was weird. Amen, Valerie. Of course, I like to embrace everyone, even though I only speak one language. I know French a little bit. Un peu, très peu, very small. Penny, Google Translator. Yeah, we could type all that stuff in for him, and he can figure out what we said. I'm assuming it's a he, because he was not super courteous when he came in and left. But I think men do that more often. But
oh no, women are nasty too.
Okay.
Bad.
Okay. I was saying it can be any.
I have seen some ladies in some shots that I'm like, really?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's scary.
Yeah. Some women are very scary.
Okay, I guess I do see that. I understand that for sure. So now je parle petit un peu français. Penny, you're my goddess. I speak small un peu. Petit and peu is like small and very small, right? I speak very little français. I pretty much know it a little bit. It's been years, although again, years ago, I traveled to England. To Europe, thanks to my brother. He brought me as his guest, and we went to Paris. So I very little.
That's awesome.
Very little. So yeah, I could order food and find the bathroom and the real basic things. So yeah, it was pretty cool. So anyway, cool, Penny. to a Canadian. No, I am not. I'm originally from Kentucky. I've lived in lots of places. I currently live in Vermont, which is very close to Canada. What I normally do in January, in February, and March is I start going to motorsports events. So for Formula One, which is one of my more favorite, the closest track to my home in Vermont is the one in Montreal, Canada. So I am certainly Canadian that weekend. When I go to Formula One in Montreal, I am as Canadian as you can get. So that's it. Enough about motorsports. But what the hell? What am I going to do? I don't know if I'm going to do motorsports. So, yes?
Life changed so fast and so incredibly unannounced that who knows what we're going to do tomorrow. I mean, I have a bunch of plans, but sometimes something comes up and I'm like, there you go, my plans. Ciao.
Right.
And
Yeah.
and I don't know why this happened to me, but ever since I've been involved with Idaho 4, everything I worked on previous to Idaho 4 became not as important. You know, like motorsports is just a bunch of billionaires and millionaires that just do this stupid stuff over the weekend. And I'm like, that is so unimportant. And I don't know why that happened, but, you know, and I think that happened with my politics and, you know, the other stuff that I used to cover. So I think I'm on a transition to somewhere. I just don't know where. But
that's good. At least you know that you're in transition.
for sure. But
Yeah.
you know, I'm out in Idaho and I'm doing searches on YouTube Live, and half of the Idaho 4 that I'm used to, all the YouTube live streamers that cover Idaho 4, more than half of them are not covering that case anymore. I'm like, oh my goodness, I have to pick another case. I don't even know how to do that.
Oh, I've still seen some people posting about it. I don't think it's going to go away. I think more things are going to come out. And
yeah, I mean, I can always do stuff, especially if I'm here and if I take my time going back home. I'm going to certainly stop in Pennsylvania again.
I mean,
and I am for sure I'm going to interview the suspect's father. For sure I am.
this case, like,
Yeah, this is
this
Idaho,
affected
Penny.
a lot of people.
Yeah, it's pretty wild.
I don't think it's just going to go away.
Yeah, it's pretty wild, Penny. I have so anyway, let me try to catch up on comments. Penny says, I work with some French people and I'm trying to learn with Duolingo. That I think I've seen that as a commercial. It seems like it really works really well. And OKKK. So yeah, I'm not Canadian. And I didn't mean to, I hope I didn't talk down to Canadian, but and then wow, Joe, you are in Canada. I mean Idaho now. I am. Anyway, I was a little late to, you know, I live in Vermont, and so I wanted to go to Pennsylvania as soon as they trapped them there. And I got to the courthouse, and I was supposed to go into the courtroom, but I did not because, as always, I tend to get into some challenging places, and I didn't get there. And then it took me a while to raise money to go out to Idaho, so I missed. You know, if I had $1 billion, I don't think I would have made the January 5th court case anyway. But I mean, I guess I could have. I could have applied immediately. But so I missed that, and so I was shooting for the 12th. But it ended up I showed up at the courthouse 30 minutes before it was starting because they moved it up 2 hours. I thought it was at 10, so I showed up at 7:30, but it started at 8, so I was only 30 minutes ahead of it. So yeah, I'm still here trying to figure out how to make the trip worth it. And I'm probably going to go to campus tomorrow. You know, I'm probably going to go to University of Idaho and maybe Washington State and maybe the 2 vape places and maybe eat. I mean, some of the stuff may be morbid or I don't know.
No, I don't think it's morbid. I was listening to another channel when I started my popcorn, and they were talking about some people writing to Nancy, you know who?
Yeah, Grace.
Uh-huh. because they didn't want her to be there because it was their tragedy. But I don't think it's because of that. Because she was there and people are interested in what happened. Is that we have and we forget as human beings that we lost 4 kids there. And sometimes she has a very strong character, and
Oh boy.
yes,
Yeah.
yes, and sometimes she gets, and lawyers tend to do that. She
Hmm.
gets involved with the practicality at hand, how to get this guy to what he deserves,
Hmm.
and the problems that are before that. And then she has to deal with TV and a boss that tells her, you have to go in front of the house and look like this and that. And yes, it can look a tiny bit not very respectful, not very what is the word
It's pretty distasteful.
yeah, it can be not,
It can be, yeah, for sure.
yeah,
Yeah.
not empathetic,
Empathetic, not empathetic.
non-empathetic.
Apathetic, yeah.
And that I think that's the problem that she's having right now. She's taking it just too strong. She have to go down a little bit.
Oh, sure.
Yeah,
And that, I mean, I think when I'm in the situation, well, that's not always true, but usually when I'm in the situation, I'm doing pretty well. And, I try to keep it all appropriate and stuff. And, I mean, Jack in the Box, I don't think I'm going to announce at their counter why I'm eating there. I think I'm going to just order the meal and eat it. And that's it.
Yeah.
And the grub truckers, I might engage with some conversations with some people, but I don't think I'm going to try to push it of, hey, I want to interview you right now. Will you interview me? I would give them that option, and I would say I can come back another day or something like that. But it has weird hours. It has bar hours.
exactly.
I forget what they are, but I knew them at the time. I think it's 10 p.m. to 2:30 a.m. It's bar hours. I mean, I'm asleep by 10 p.m. So I don't know how I'm going to do that. But plus, it's Pacific time, so that's 1 a.m. But the place opens at 1 a.m. my time. So anyway, Penny says, "Did you go to the Corner Club yet?" I have not gone to the Corner Club yet. I don't drink, but I don't mind going into bars at all. A funny story. No, I don't usually tell humorous stories, but with my OCD and my disabilities, I have to have it. The iPhone has to be telling me where to go, and I have to go precisely. And so I was going from, wherever. I was going from the library to the truck stop or something like that. And you turn sharp right and you go for a half a mile and you turn sharp left. And when I'm turning sharp left and about to get back on the main road, it's right there in front of me. It says Corner Club. And I'm like, holy shit. And I didn't have an accident and I didn't really stop, but I went a block or two later and then took a left and tried to get back to it, which I couldn't because it wasn't normal city blocks. And I'm like, but I will go. So I'm definitely going to go. Now I do handle situations the best I can, and I usually do pretty well. I do like to push the envelope sometimes, and I don't really like that the Corner Club, and it's secondhand news. I don't know if we got a statement from them, but I thought they were a little too aggressive with media of saying, don't effing come back into our building again. Only talk to the cops. We're not giving statements anymore. So I might be a slight jerk when I go in there, but I hope I'm not. I hope I do my job. When you walk into a bar and you don't drink, they already don't trust you. They're like, what?
Yeah.
You want a 7-Up? Oh, fuck you. Get out of here. So they already know there's a problem. And I'm like, oh no, I'm an alcoholic. I would love this place back when I drank. And that doesn't help either. So,
I'm sorry.
no, it's, I'm trying to be funny. So, but anyway, I think I will kind of stick it to him. He seemed to be an aggressive be safe out there. Yeah, Penny, I might get into a fight or two, but anyway, not really.
Yeah, Joe, don't get in a fight. Oh Lord.
Yeah, they all have knives out here.
You are, Joe.
Everybody has guns and everybody has knives, so I guess I got to watch out for that. But so anyway,
I just
Sifa needs to take off. Let's see here, Sifa. Sorry, I've been doing IT stuff. I'll be back shortly. Thanks, Sifa. Thanks for all the help tonight, and come back when you can. Don't hurry back.
Hi,
it's gonna be my turn.
So, but yeah, Penny, I don't know if you're, I don't, I my memory's not the greatest, but usually my first question with anybody, anywhere I see anywhere is, are you on Twitter? It's the only way I communicate is I like to DM and, I like to get information. So I don't know if I've found out that you are on Twitter and you would have ideas of who to visit and what to do. I mean, I think I would.
That will be great.
Yeah, I think I would just start by reading the affidavit and everything that comes up, like Jack in the Box. That's because of the affidavit, and the grub truckers. Everybody already knows that, but it's in the affidavit. So I think just by reading the affidavit, and the two vapes. Again, I have my preconceived ideas of both vape places. The one vape place, the cops did say. The cops were jerks. There's no doubt about it that the cops were jerks. No doubt. But they also did say, if you think you have anything at all that might be worthy, please get it to us. And the vape store did not do that.
Yeah.
They erased it. They're saying, well, they didn't come to our store until 3 weeks later or 4 weeks or whatever the situation is. But the cops asked for it. So, I mean, so I might have, anyway, I'm not all about attitude. I swear I do pretty well when I go to these places, but I'm a little concerned about that. And then the other vape store, he seemed to be changing his story according to what we just read in the news that day. He was like, oh yeah, they were talking about going to this bar and doing that. And oh yeah, he was taller. He's about 6 feet tall. I'm not quoting him exactly, but it was, anyway, whatever. So I hope to, here's my current post-it note, but I do this about twice a day. I start with a fresh one and I'm like, okay, this list is the one I'm going to keep and remember. And it never happens. And then I create another one later in the day. And then I do 2 for the next day and 2 for the next day and 2 for the next day. And there's a lot of repeat, like the printing up the discovery will be on every one of the sheets because I keep forgetting. Anyway, so I think I am getting a little jacked up about being in Moscow. I'm at a new truck stop, and I don't like being at new ones. And this is not generally one of my favorite because they don't have Wi-Fi. But I have scored mega with Wi-Fi because they have Xfinity. So the reason I don't like them doesn't exist tonight, so I should start liking them. Now staying in my car might be a different thing. It's not. Some of these truck stops has 5 acres of parking, so they don't even know cars. They don't even notice cars, and then some have 10 spaces. And this is kind of an intimate place, so we'll see how that goes. But regardless, it's a 2-hour drive. And I'd like to get there before anything's open. So I wouldn't mind waking up at 5 and showering and leave at 6 and get there before 8. And then just have a full day of I don't, it could be a whole big nothing burger. I don't think it will be. I mean, I think I will go to U of I. I think I will have my phone out. I will say I am live streaming. I mean, I could live stream. Would you like to be interviewed? The topics can be yours. I won't give you a zinger question. It's just all what you want to talk about. And I always say, even if I do ask you something, you don't even have to address the question. You can just start talking about something else. So I don't really care what happens. So anyway, I guess I'm getting kind of jacked up about it. I've been here 5 days and I did a lot on Thursday. And I stayed in Moscow because I knew I was, the truck stop was 2 hours away. So I knew once I went home to the truck stop, I wasn't going back just for a cup of coffee or anything. I knew I'd be leaving. So, but same thing. tomorrow when I go to Moscow, I'm not going to be rushing back for the 2 hours to get back either. So anyway, I'll see how it goes. I'm pretty excited.
I think that it's good. It's always good
I
that people
agree.
has an interest in your case. If it was my, God protect us, but if it was one of my family members, I will want the media there.
Yeah.
Because you never know what can happen. And people sometimes are not, people are very deceitful. What if, okay, this is a complete crazy thought, but what if the man is innocent?
Mm.
It could be.
Yeah.
It can happen. It's the worst thing.
Where's the person now? I mean, are they already planning something else?
Yeah. That would be wild.
Yeah, okay, this man doesn't look uh, innocent, but what if, everything has, life have strange stuff, and now they say, okay, we have our man and this is our man, and somebody in the press or in the public say, wait, this doesn't make sense.
Mm.
I know that if you do that with DNA, it doesn't work because I work with DNA and I have a PhD on whatever DNA is.
Mm.
And they are lying. If you have press there, the press will go after that and will look for experts. Press is good, yes, it's a pain.
Right.
But, I guess if you try to do it, I think just going as if you're asking about, I always like the human part of the story.
Mm.
These kids didn't do anything to him.
No,
Something
not at all.
is wrong in this person's head, totally. He wanted to demonstrate something in my eyes. I don't know who. I have a clue, and he did this horrible deeds.
Absolutely.
And who were these kids? How the neighbors know that this was a party house? And it's been a party house not because of these kids. It's been a party house for years.
Mm.
We as human beings, we want to understand why these horrible things happen.
Yeah.
And how we can stop them from. I don't think that it gives him, and I'm talking too much, but I don't think that if you had been bullied by somebody when you were 13, you have the right of killing people.
Right, of course.
Absolutely not.
Most of us have been bullied.
Mm.
We're not going anywhere killing people. That doesn't give you any. No.
Right.
Excuse me. But we have to accept that bullying is not good. And the people that said, oh yes, this and this bully him, really? I just be quiet about it.
Mm.
I have to tell you something, Joe. I was looking for that lawyer.
Yeah.
And I saw, I have a still shot of you in the courtroom.
You do not.
Yeah, okay.
Send that to me. Send that. I'm famous. Like 15 seconds.
Joe.
You were in the last row.
Yep.
And it was a lady on one side and a man in another.
A woman on both sides, but the one looked like a man.
Okay. I'm sorry. It was a video, and then it was like, oh, this is Joe. Oh my
Come
God, this is
on,
Joe.
you did not.
Great.
Man, I am famous. All
Just
right.
for I was like, oh, he said there was another lawyer. I was looking and I'm like, oh, you have it?
Wow.
I will
Can you
send
really
it to
send
you.
me that link?
Yeah, but you know me, I will send it to your email.
Oh, okay, that's fine. Even
Okay.
though you have to embrace Twitter, I understand that. Yeah, you can do email. It works. We get stuff back and forth between each other. So, did you see another lawyer? Was there a second person at the table?
Oh, after I took, after I took the steel shot, I did something and I messed up my timing here. Give me a second. But I'm not because they do a zoom on on the on his lawyer and on him, and then they pan to the prosecutor. I'm not. I cannot see it,
Wow.
but I'm going to try another one.
Well, I'm sure there's other videos, but for that particular room, and I don't know what was happening in the Zoom room where the parents were, which, B and I were talking how I was so disappointed that I should have picked the Zoom room. But in the room I was in, there was two moving camera setups and two still camera setups. So I guess there's only two sources of that video. But yeah, hopefully there's another one you can get where you set a different angle or you can see what's there.
Yeah, I'm gonna look for it because it will be good for your if for thumb how it's called thumbnails.
Thumbnails.
Yes.
Man, if I could
That's
get
awesome.
if I can be behind Santa Claus, like Santa Claus 1 and Santa Claus 2, if I could be right behind Charles, what's his name? Thompson, Bill Thompson.
Thompson. Yeah.
I
Yep.
want to be behind him. He's way nicer than me. I don't know how anybody could mistake me for him, but he seems like, which I don't know a bunch about prosecuting, but I don't think we want a really nice guy. I think we want an ass a-hole.
I'm sure he can turn it on pretty good.
I hope.
I
He,
hope.
and he also will have help. He cannot
Right.
do this alone.
He can probably delegate the mean things to them, and then he stays nice or neutral or whatever. So let me do a couple of comments here. Sifa says, I'm back. Welcome back, Sifa. Thanks for coming back. And then Penny said in an interview, Kay's sister said they only had people over there. They only had people over that were in their circle. They didn't have anyone over they didn't already know. I'm sure that's true. I didn't say it, but while Liza was talking, I was thinking, I think I would be pretty good with Kay's father, Steve. I would like to connect with him. But no, I don't expect to knock on their front door and be invited in for coffee. Not at all. So I do have a rather resourceful friend in my YouTube live world that seems to get a hold of information about various people. And so Kay's family would be, and I, whenever the four victims are talked about, my first initial reaction is, why do they have to mention her first? It's four people. There's four victims. And here it is. I'm doing it right now. So, no, I want to talk to Ethan's family and, whenever it's appropriate. But, something happened January 12th, and really nothing's going to happen until June 26th. So, not that they're going through DTs. I think Steve's going through DTs. I think Steve is going, oh my effing God, give me a camera. I need a camera. I need to talk to someone. And I'm sure he could call any network at any time and they would talk to him. But it will generally drop off. It will generally drop off. So, yeah, I'd love to talk to all four. Anyway, I hope I didn't say anything like that, Penny, so that you thought I thought I would get in on the coffee circle. I do not expect to get into the coffee circle. But I would take, yes. I don't drink caffeine, but if I was invited there, I would fake drinking caffeine for sure. I would guzzle it. So, and then Penny, I love it. And Penny, welcome back, Sifa. And Sifa, thank you. And Nightbot, thank you, Nightbot. And then Penny, oh, the prosecutor, he does resemble you. Or I resemble him, or he's probably younger, but I look older or whatever. So, but yeah, I think it would be nice to get me in the background of the prosecutor. So Penny, I think that M might have been the target. K and E weren't supposed to be there. Next killed probably was awake. I think that Maddie, I think that Maddie might have been the target. K and E weren't supposed to be there, and X killed probably was awake. That's. I mean, I think we all can have our our speculations and stuff. I of course have mine, and usually with my impulsive synapses, I usually immediately respond to something. But to just address a couple of the things in your statement, it's 2023, and I swear to it, I can speak for the entire human population. Everybody knows that Ethan will be in bed with Xana, or if they're at the frat house, then Xana will be in Ethan's bed. That's the way it works. I mean, they might take breaks. Maybe once a month they don't sleep together, or twice a month they don't sleep together, but they're going to be in bed. So if he stalked that house, he knew damn well Ethan was going to be there. That's my opinion.
I agree with you, but I don't know that frat house, or most frat house will not let you have.
Yeah, right. I was in a frat house. I think they did limit having women over. Although I think juniors and seniors could do it, but not sophomores. There's something weird.
One of the reasons why you get out of the frat house, and this is sorry by the third year, is because you want to be you wanted to have a private life, or a semi-private life,
right,
and be able to have guests. But back in my day, you cannot have guests. They will kick you out if they found out. But things change now,
and that might be why Ethan was at Xana's place. I mean, they live in two places, so they can choose two places, and Xana might say, no, I want you at my place all the time, because I can't stand that I can't spend the night at the fraternity house. And he goes, okay, sounds great with me. But
that night the fraternity house had a party, and those kids are very rambunctious. Then sleeping there that night, it would have been almost impossible. Xana's house was the best choice. Yeah. If they wanted to just rest and just do not continue with the party.
So yeah, Penny, I'm sorry if I misinterpreted anything. I try to, I don't think I missed too much, but I might have. So no, Joe, I meant because we keep calling it a party house. I don't like calling it a party house, but I guess it was a party house. I like just to call it a social house. Again, that's fairly common on campuses. This might be a little better than most houses, but they're all pretty social. Even though they were not being reckless and knew their friends that were there. They were not being reckless. So yeah, that it was just the six of them, the two surviving roommates, three that didn't survive, and then Ethan as a guest. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I think
Let me read them together, because sometimes I don't quite understand things totally. I think that Maddie might have been the target. Kaylee and Ethan weren't supposed to be there, and Xana killed probably because she was awake, because she was eating. But yeah, I mean, if he only had one target and if everybody was asleep, I would probably agree that he would pass over Xana. Boy, that's too bad if that would be true. And then no, Joe, I meant because we keep calling it a party house, even though they were not being reckless at all. I mean, they all probably had buzzes, but I see nothing wrong with that, and precocious and promiscuous, and I have no problem with any of that kind of stuff. They're TikToks, and I mean, it's 2023. There ought to be freedom with what people can do without being judged or that kind of stuff. Anyway, that has nothing to do with what you just wrote, Penny. That just came off my synapse. So I wasn't trying to read anything else into what you said. So even though they were not being reckless and knew their friends that were there. I agree. I hope I said that. So, what do you, B, what are you thinking of?
I think it's scary that that night, especially, like it seems like they all did everything right, and this still happened. I mean, aside from locking the doors, possibly, but they had the buddy system, and they got a ride home, and Ethan and Xana were together. It seems like Kaylee and Maddie were together, and then I don't know about Bethany and Dylan, but it seems
Sounds
like
like
they
it.
did what you're supposed to do, and like still just the worst thing that could happen happened. It's crazy.
That is, you're right. Yeah, the buddy system, and even Jackass was walking along with them for a
Yeah,
little bit. And,
I feel really bad about that. Like, I mean, that they did everything that you're literally supposed to do, I feel like.
which
And I think that this guy, it didn't matter what they have done that day.
Right. That's what's scary. Like,
He had the target and he was going for it. I don't know
no matter what.
how he knew so many things.
Me
I have
either.
my presumptions about that,
I
but
do, yeah.
he was going to do it that day. He didn't care that a male was there. It could have been bad for him in so many ways, and it didn't. I mean, none of it's almost impossible that it was 6 people in that house, and
Yeah.
everybody with a cell phone, everybody that could alert the others, close your door, put your bed, uh, by your door, don't let anybody in. I hear noises, something's going on in the third floor. Nothing like that happened. I cannot everything went well for this
And the house
person.
itself, like, I mean, just walking in, all those cars out front, there's houses everywhere. You can see in. I mean, there's people walking around, like the college kids. It's so crazy to me. Like,
and so sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
oh no, you're fine.
But when I went to the house and I did a Twitter live, and I tried to do a StreamYards live, but I think they jammed my phone, or that's what I think happened. But what I said during the Twitter thing, I mean, I'm not claustrophobic, but I kind of have those kind of tendencies, just self-aware of stuff. And there is no doubt that no camera gave the justice on how close those houses were. Like if you were standing on the second floor balcony, the sliding glass door of the second floor, you could and I'm not good at distances, but they said that one camera was in 50 feet, but I bet within 75 feet or within 100 feet, which is shorter than a football. What's 100 yards? So that's 300 yards. Yeah, way closer than a football field. There was probably 6 to 8 houses. And I'm just like, how do they, I mean, you would see everybody taking a shower, and you would see everybody changing clothes. And I mean, that's just so on top of each other. Just so again, not only was it a house full of 6 people, but probably 40 people or 60 people lived within 100 yards of that house. And he just saunters in, does what he needs to do, and saunters out. I mean, he screwed up. He turned his car around 3 times and all that kind of stuff. But is that amazing? So anyway, that's what I was going to say.
It's bizarre. It's wild.
I mean, 30 years ago, probably he will have get away with it.
Yeah, but now it's like,
we didn't have the cameras, we didn't have social media looking for the Lantra. 30 years ago, you know what's scary me the most? When I stopped thinking how many of those people, because he's not the only one. How many of these kind of people are around and have done it
Yeah.
and are walking around, just continue doing it, and we just don't know.
Yeah.
Because at the beginning, my feeling was that the person that did this did it before without knowing anything about anything. It was before the affidavit. The person that did this did it before. Nobody paid attention, meaning press.
Right.
Right.
And now he's going to do it in a the closer that he can to a college campus, because that will get you press. Because if he
Yeah.
wanted to do it because he wanted to make a point about his studies and his crazy, he's better than everybody, he could very well could have chosen another demographic.
Yeah.
And
But
I was going to say that there was that one comment about, I guess he applied to Washington State University Police Department, and he wasn't really. It didn't sound like he was applying for a job. He was suggesting to them how he could improve that they did certain research, and so I firmly believe that he did this knowing fully well that there was social media and that there was cameras, and it was, so that he wanted it to be a far bigger thing than 7 years ago. I think he was aware of the odds that he was going against, and just to be super cool, I think, or something.
more than who, it's like, I think he wanted to prove that it can be done. Because I heard today something else, and about the, I'm sorry about my pronunciation about this, but this word, the knife sheath.
The sheath, yeah.
Yeah. My husband have several of those, and and even if you have some in your kitchen, when when you have the wrong sheet, because the knife will not get, if I'm not looking and I'm take the wrong sheet, the knife will not get in well, because when the knife gets an impression in the leather, what if he just put that sheet there and the impressions of the wounds in the bodies are not the same as the impression of that they have in the knife sheet? He's off.
That'd be wild.
I think he might have gone in with more than one knife.
That's another one. Yes, that's another one.
Yeah.
Because we know that they take impression of the wounds.
And I personally think he forgot the sheath. I don't think he meant to leave the sheath. I think he forgot the sheath. Either, since it's next to Maddie, I would probably guess that Maddie might have been the primary target. I still think all four were the target, but she might have been the primary one because that's where he started, or that's where he took it out. But I think he did not want to forget it, and he did.
But Joe, look at, he's a forensic, I don't know, PhD candidate. The first thing it's the first thing that he knows is fingerprints. Okay, leaving the fingerprint in the bottom of the sheet is like a Formula One pilot going for the go and forgetting the first shift or the clutch. I mean,
Exactly. Yeah.
or a surgeon doing surgery and just forgetting that the anesthesia has to kick in.
Yeah, to tie the little knot. Yeah, he forgot to tie the knot.
It's so dumb that my brain says to me it cannot be possible.
I get what you're saying.
I think that, and that, I was trying to read about that DNA, and that transfer DNA, it's 10 times more delicate.
Oh, golly.
Yes, I have it here somewhere.
Now, Banfield, who you all know that she loves theatrics, but she had the exact sheath, or the supposedly the exact same sheath on her show, and being a female, she was trying to unsnap it and resnap it, and she was, of course, trying to make it as hard as possible because she was a female. But she was putting her thumb, she was showing exactly how he was able to put his fingerprint, which they are not calling it a fingerprint. They are calling it a speck or something of DNA. They're calling it DNA. They're not calling it a fingerprint. But anyway, she was showing exactly where she was showing it was on the button. The thing that snaps closed and snaps open is where she was saying the DNA is. Exactly. And I don't.
Yes, it's like getting your Grand Prix car and just don't touch the clutch. Really?
Rip all those gears apart.
Yeah, I mean, really, are you a PhD of what? And then it sounds to me, because it is called touch DNA, it means that he left skin samples. There's no blood. There's not sweat. It's
like
just,
our skin, where our skin just sheds naturally, or skin like he sliced it off?
You put your thumb there and skin samples, tiny skin samples, fall off.
Oh, golly.
It's
what a
10
bummer.
times more fragile than blood DNA. That means if it has to, it's 10 times more fragile than blood DNA. We know that it's very difficult to get rid of blood, but he could clean that a little bit and had just got rid of it. And he didn't.
I was thinking he might have just throwing this out there. Maybe he was having some of that visual snow at the time. I was thinking maybe he lost it and just didn't notice that. That's what I thought about him not seeing Dylan too. Maybe
because of his
Well, because if it's what he says, and it does get in the way like that, and you're so pumped up on adrenaline, maybe you wouldn't notice it. And then if you have actual visual blockers, I don't know, because it makes no sense why the sheath was there. Not any sense, not to me anyway.
And right next to one body.
Yeah,
I could imagine him just throwing it, but to be right next to one body, golly.
Not under the bed, not right by her side.
And there's already two bodies on that bed.
Yeah.
And somehow the sheath can be next to one of the two bodies, even though it's a pretty cramped up bed. That sheath is right next to Maddie.
Yeah, and sheaths don't come off easily. I mean, my husband is a knife collector, and he's got a ton of them. And if you know what you're doing and how to wear them correctly, they don't just fall off like that. It'd have to really be ripped off, or he had to have it in his pocket and it fell out or something. It's so weird.
Now, I'm gonna, if it's okay, I'm gonna catch up with comments here. Penny, I think I've already invited you to come up, but if I have not invited you, feel free to come up, and then you don't have to type so much. But so to go back a bit, sorry, Penny. No, Joe, I meant because we keep calling it. Oh, no. I read that one. I think it was the next one. I was going back to the interview with Kay's sister's comment. Sorry, very fragmented. That's all right. My brain is very fragmented also. So it probably will make a perfect match. Meaning they would have not had BK just wandering through. And that's been a while. So I agree with you. And then Nightbot and Penny, right, agree with that. They were being smart. Yeah, as far as what you were saying, B, as far as they traveled in pairs, and they did the best they could. And then Penny, of course, he had some I'm sorry, I want to quote it exactly the way Liza does it. He had some BALLS for sure. Did I do it right, Liza? Is that how you do it?
Yes, just in case.
Yeah. Cool. So Penny, I think the DD driver, Dash, what's it called? Something Dash?
DoorDash.
DoorDash. I think the DoorDash driver might have seen his car and maybe a second eyewitness, in my opinion. I mean, it's 4:00, or they keep saying approximately 4:00, and he's gone by 4:20. So that really is pretty tight. So let's hope that guy does. Or I'm just saying guy. It could be a male or a female. At 4 a.m, I hope it's not a female. But I'm sorry, there's plenty of females that could take care of themselves at 4 a.m, for sure. Penny, yes, I know there are so many others like him. Yes. And then Penny mentioned this one. I don't know many other cases at all. The Idaho 4 is my second case in my life, really. I mean, I've been aware of some. But Penny says, are you aware of the unsolved stabbing murder on April 1st, 2020? It was about 40 miles from his parents' place in Pennsylvania. Holy moly. Police asked for public's help in finding a blue car seen near the area. Oh, golly. It didn't click. Let's try to click that again. He was 19-year-old named Justin Pickney. Terry, that's his name. So he was 19 years old named Justin Pickney Terry and found stabbed multiple times in the abdomen by the side of the road. Wow. That's I don't know if he has a modus operandi yet, but that could be in the ballpark of his MO. Yeah, I think he did have it in his pocket or something. Yeah, I mean, so anyway, there you go. Thank you, Penny. And thank you for all the comments. Like I said, you're welcome to come up. I can send you the link, and we're just chatting. It's just a small little chat here, real intimate and stuff. So, and oh yeah, of course, full disclosure. I keep forgetting Twitter, don't I? I live stream to 6 platforms, and I always like to mention them, and I always forget to. But I want to thank and tell everyone I appreciate all 6 platforms. So it's Facebook profile and Facebook page and LinkedIn profile and YouTube by itself with no describer, and then Twitch, who I know nothing about. But I just got an email a day or two ago that said, hey, where'd you go? Penny says, I just followed you on Twitter. Really? I have really hard things I have 3 accounts, by the way. Hopefully you did the Misc Hart Inc. I'm going to just click that out there just so she gets the right one. Are either one of y'all mods? I don't think y'all are mods, right?
Me?
Yeah, are you a mod?
I think Liza is. Right?
Yes, I'm a mod, but I'm a very bad one.
That's okay. You told me that. And B, you're always invited to be a mod. If you ever want to be a mod, just let me know. So
I keep my head on straight. You want me to be a mod?
Of course, I don't care. So so Penny, yeah, that's the account I want you to follow, and that's probably the one you found. But I have 3 accounts, and you're welcome to follow the other 2, but they ain't nothing compared to this one. This is the one I want everybody to follow me on. So what was I saying right before that?
But back what Penny said, somebody near his house in Pennsylvania, or his parents' house.
Yes.
Yes, Justin. Give me a second. I'm going to screenshot that.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting.
Can you screenshot everything? Because it has the other comment too, where it says, "Are you aware of the unsolved stabbing?" So I don't know if you can get both of those in the screen, but
no, what was the date? Sorry.
The date, April 1st, 2020.
Oh, okay.
So he wouldn't be out in Washington yet.
No. Wow.
But he would just be anywhere, I mean, near Pennsylvania, probably, because he was in school there, I think, at that time. But
well, hold on, April 2020?
No. April 1st, 2020.
Okay. But he was in the other school by then. LaSalle.
The Pennsylvania school, right?
Yeah, LaSalle. I don't remember. It's a good school. I look at it.
The bachelor's. I think he was still in his bachelor's at that time.
But they do have good criminal. This is incredible. if you look for their PhDs, they have great. Their PhD on what he was studying in Washington, it's ranked better in Pennsylvania than Washington.
Oh, wow.
That's why some people think that he was after the professor that wrote those books
Yes,
about the SK that Lady V knows a lot about. That gentleman,
Ted Bundy?
no, the other one. The
Gacy?
Gacy,
yes, that one.
the clown. I think he was a clown. Right?
No. The clown was another one. What is it? I'd leave that to Lady
Am I
V.
right? He was Gacy the clown. I'm not 100%.
I have no idea. I've heard the name before, though.
I heard
BTK.
BTK. Yes. That's
BTK, yep.
The professor that wrote a lot of books about BTK. It's in LaSalle. And another professor, it's in, what was I talking about? In Washington. Very good on the topic of SKs.
really.
Yes. This case it's interesting, and it's kind of I want to think, I wish to think it's like a very what happened to the brain? What happened to us that we go to think that we go to a school to learn how to do that? Because just to make a point?
Yeah,
Yes.
I'm not sure if our minds ever started in a perfect world kind of scenario, but yeah, they certainly have gotten quite distorted.
It's
You know, like a baby. They say when a baby is born, everything is preciously perfect, and then other things happen.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if that's entirely true. They could have SIDS or fetal alcohol syndrome, and I mean, not all of them start off perfect when they're born.
Yes, but I don't think that he did it. This was by this time he calculated everything,
Oh, I think so.
and it's so much the calculation, the premeditation, the going to one tower to another, to a tower with a lesser signal. Who knows how many days he was after them, because he unalived them on the 13th and he was on the road with his father on the 15th.
Wow.
What he put in that car to make sure that blood was, I don't know, it's too much for my brain. I will have to sit for a year or two to figure out.
I agree.
You mean like
I'm not making light of the crime, but the procedures, what to do.
Are you talking like bleach and chlorine and stuff? Like his dad should have obviously smelt something when he got into the car?
Well, he knows that bleach doesn't work for blood.
Or whatever he needs to use?
Nothing. It's so hard. There's something, but it's just 24 hours. He had to cover that car in some way, shape, or form. He had to cover his body, and using bands. I mean, bands are canvas shoes. That thing will take every liquid on earth.
Wow.
Then he had a place that he knew he wanted to get rid of all that evidence. And he did that before 9:30 because he came back at 9:30-ish because some people say that because he realized he lost the knife sheath, or I think that he was after the radio, the cops and the emergency radio, and by the 9:30 he didn't hear anything. He went back because at 9:30 he could have gone back to the house and nobody would have noticed. Half of the house was not in this world anyway, and he didn't. It's so strange. Everything is. He could have gone back and retrieved that knife sheath very well, and nobody would have noticed. I mean, maybe the cell towers and a few cameras.
If he went back at 7, I think 9 o'clock is way too late.
Well, he went around.
I mean,
and if he went around, he already changed everything that was in touch with what he did at 4 o'clock a.m. And his car was clean because he could have run into a cop and then stop. Then when he went back at 9-ish, 30-ish, everything in his car and on his body looked presentable.
Whew.
Just at least to the naked eye.
Well, supposedly he did that drive, from like 440 or 420 to 526 or something. People are thinking he went by the lake and things like that. Now, I think he still has the knife. I don't think he ever got rid of the knife just because it's a prize. But he could have done something on that drive home, clothes or that kind of stuff. So,
Survivor, how do you think about the knife? Do you think that he still have it?
I don't know about the knife. I would assume I think he might have buried it somewhere. I don't know if he would get rid of the knife or not. I'm not sure. But the cleaning of the car, I do wonder, did he have any access to cleaning supply, specific cleaning supplies from the school that he was in? If he's being taught stuff like that, would he have access to anything like that?
oh, wow.
He will have, yes.
Probably. I mean, whether he has access or not, he could probably sneak in and get into the building with the right
Of course,
chemicals. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I wonder if, because it is so weird. I would be terrified to drive around for an hour after I had just done that and possibly soaked in blood. I don't know.
Well, it was who was it? It was in a channel of our friend Valerie. She was talking about the dark triad. And in the part of Machiavelli, I have to read how it's pronounced in English, sorry. But one of the parts, there's a syndrome that the person has that what will make the normal person nervous, they don't have it.
Oh,
it
wow.
doesn't exist. It's like, I like snakes. It's not bad. It's,
It's like a sociopath, or
they are so manipulative. They are not, their brain just do not work like ours. But most of us.
So I don't know the word either, but are you trying to say Machiavellian?
Machiavellianism is so freaking something like
that.
Yeah, I don't know all of it behind it, but it's that really famous actor that played him. But I don't know everything about it. I know it's a dark-sided character, but that's all I know about him.
Well, it was based in the books by Machiavelli.
John Malkovich. John Malkovich played him.
But the movie was on John Malkovich. It was based on, I think, the 14th century books.
Yes.
And in Machiavelli, the prince Anyway, that's too much story. But
Sif is guessing decompartmentalize.
decompartmental.
He probably had to do that too.
Yes.
Also.
And in one of those decompartmentalize. God, what a word.
That's a hell of a word. Thank you, Sifa.
Yes, thank you. Sifa.
Yeesh.
Yeesh. That's a double yeesh. Yeesh.
Well, I have another one for you, Sifa.
Oh.
Because it's impossible for me to pronounce. I can't pronounce it, but with the let me see if you guys can hear this. Let's see. Oh God, really?
Alexithymia.
Alexa.
Thymia.
Sorry.
It goes
Alexa,
again.
what?
It goes 1, 2, 3.
Alexithymia.
Alexithymia.
Alexithymia. What is that?
I don't know anything about Alexa. I know nothing about Alexa.
I thought you were asking Alexa something.
No, it's part of the dark triad and is under the decompartmentalized.
Really?
And yes. And it says personality trait characterized by the inability to identify or describe emotions experienced by oneself. The core characteristic is dysfunction in emotional awareness, social attachment, and interpersonal relations.
Wow.
Furthermore, people with high levels of alexithymia or something like that
Don't know.
can have difficulty distinguishing and appreciating the emotions of others, which is thought to lead to unempathic and ineffective emotional responses. That,
There you
Alexis, pronounce that to me, please.
Sifa. There you go. Alexithymia. Yeah, I've never heard of it.
Well, that he has.
Way to go.
If there's something wrong with that, with him, other than maybe the snow vision. If the snow vision doesn't come here, his brain has this thing, and it's a neurodevelopmental disorder.
So now I can't get past the part of Alexa. Does this word have anything to do with the Alexa, or is it
No.
a completely different word having nothing to do with Alexa?
Nothing to do with Alexa. It's a
Okay.
classification under Machiavellism.
Here it goes. Sifa's got it right there. Machiavellian. Okay, so I'll read it. Alexithymia per Sifa is when a person has difficulty identifying and expressing emotions. It is not a mental health disorder. People with it may have problems maintaining relationships and taking part in social situations, which could be pretty close to what B was saying. You know, what are the two paths, sociopath and psychopath?
Yeah.
You know, that would be kind of close to at least sociopath. But yeah, that's wow, Sifa, you
Never heard of that.
did that in like 10 seconds. Thank you.
Maybe Sifa, you can maybe look at it in
And Penny says he has it. Yes, that's what Penny says. He has it.
It seems like he's so cold-blooded, and probably that's why many people in YouTube, they try to read him in court. Well, we try to read him. That's why I asked you if you could read him, but we cannot read him because he doesn't know how to read other people. Then he doesn't know how to react, like most of us. It's like when we go to another culture, and some cultures, when you smile, is not proper.
Right.
In some tribes in Africa or in the Amazonia, if you smile at them, it's like you want war with them.
Oh Lord.
Yeah.
Golly.
Well, that's cultural stuff. We can learn that stuff, but to him, his brain doesn't recognize that.
Yeah, he's got that like flat, dead stare, like kind of just like looks right through you, kind of
Yeah,
look.
he
And
can't. He cannot do it.
you know, and I that's some great stuff. Thanks, Liza and Sifa. And you know, we're talking yesterday where I said, with his three answers, yes, yes, and no, I felt he was calm, he was cool, and not crazy. But I think, I don't know if that's meaning that he's calm and cool with social interactions. I think he still could have all this stuff, even though he seemed pretty, he was confident. He was confident when he answered that judge. So,
I mean, if I had something like that, it will be very difficult for me to navigate in the United States because English is not my first language, of course. And I came here when I was already at university status after my first degree.
oh, wow.
Then I had to learn a lot by looking at people. If I didn't have that, I would have been lost. I really don't I cannot begin to comprehend how he went so far in the world to go to a PhD and fool all these expert professors that he was fine. How he fooled all these people? How he fooled the person that is like the expert on this other SK? And all that is going to come into trial.
And my mind is all blurry now with all the information, but I don't exactly remember the expert and I don't exactly remember the school, but one of his expert teachers of sorts recommended him for something, and I
No,
think she said he was the only candidate that she ever recommended.
not the
Yeah.
second. The
That's
second.
wild.
Yeah, second one. Yeah. So not only was she fooled, but that's a hell of a level to be fooled.
Yeah.
Yeah,
If she recommended 25 people, then it's no big deal. But if she recommended one or two people, that's intense.
no, and the other thing that I think is intense, and I know this not because I ever did it, but my stepson was a TA and a PhD in Penn State. And I mean, he had the keys of his professor car, his professor's office, his professor's house, because they are like an attachment of the professor. He knew everything about 400 students. Those classes in Penn State are huge. He had access of everything, every register in the university. And I'm thinking here, oh my God,
Right.
What if he had the same, the same power that the professor have to be in every database that you want to,
Wow.
the access to everything,
Yeah.
and nobody noticed.
Oh, right, right. That's just the way life is. Yeah, we don't notice or care. I guess if we knew, we might care, but yeah,
Well,
people don't
we
know.
didn't study that. We are not PhDs on that, but he was with the PhDs. And the PhDs didn't notice that this guy was not right there. It's like he tried a lot to blend in.
Yeah, I mean,
And he was very successful. That's why when people say, oh, he's stupid, he's an idiot, I'm like, I don't know. I don't think so. He's a bad human being.
Yeah.
But I don't think he is an idiot.
I don't think
And
he's an idiot. I think
I
his
think
arrogance got him.
probably, yeah.
Yeah.
But could he feel that? That's another thing.
No,
Because
of course not. You know, he's like, oh yeah, I did all this, but I'm not gonna say it. I'm not guilty. I didn't do nothing. You know. Yeah.
Golly, that's
I
crazy.
I wouldn't be like I wouldn't be surprised if he took the stand. Honestly.
I bet he will.
I,
That
I
sounds.
I'm scared that he will, yeah.
You're
I
scared.
hope he does.
I hope it will make his case stronger if he does. But
I this is good. This I'm because he's going to be, I don't know, but if okay, what do you imagine if he takes a stand, Joe? What kind of person?
he's a narcissist, and I mean, he's gonna be proud of his work, and he's probably gonna want to brag about his work. Um, I don't
You
know.
think?
I mean, I don't know. It sounds like you had an idea what the answer might be. So I'm not
I
sure if I addressed it. But
no, I have no idea. That's the problem. When I have an idea, I'm better. When I have, like, when you said that you are in between things, that you are in transition, I said
right,
that's good because you
Mm,
know that you are in transition. What makes me nervous is when people do not know where to go. My
mm.
my my grandfather used to say, I don't know if this translates well, but the vessel that doesn't know which port one will dock. I don't know how to translate it, but if you don't know where you're going,
Mm.
to me, it's more dangerous than anything. Then I don't know about him because he can say something that makes sense to him that could drive somebody. I worry about the families.
Oh God,
Yeah.
absolutely. And even Steve said
Yeah.
we might go to some days and we might not go to some days, and the lawyers will tell them the more detail oriented days not to go to.
Yeah.
If he
Now,
takes this
so
stand and he says something really callous
oh yeah,
and
absolutely.
really to provoke the families,
Oh, Steve will react. He'll run
it's
right up to that court. He'll
that's
run.
that's what I'm scared of. He will just go for it.
Now, as we all can probably guess, I assume all 5 or 6 of his lawyers is going to say, "Don't take the stand," and he might take the stand by not listening to him. But can they ever reverse that? Like, if it ever starts going outrageously horrible, can the defense say, "No, we want to remove him from or does he have to stay there until both the defense and the prosecutor says we're done talking to him?
He has to stay there. Once he takes the stand,
Oh
he takes
shit.
the stand.
Oh shit.
And by Idaho that doesn't have insanity, his lawyer cannot say, well, he's insane. He cannot take the stand. Idaho
Wow.
recognize, because of course there are people that are not right. You know, we suffer. We're human beings. We suffer of mental crisis and everything in between. Uh, and there are people in Idaho that are in jails and they have uh, been, the state had recognized that they need a medical facility to take care of them and medications,
Whew.
but they don't have insanity plea. You can be all insane that you want, but you cannot go for insanity plea. After you are in jail, they deal with you as a insane person if you need to be, but he cannot. Maybe and then I think about it, and I think that he probably knew this. And if he wants to take the stand, his lawyer cannot say my defendant is insane.
Thinking he'll win it somehow?
No, thinking that he wants attention.
Golly.
What if he does something like that?
It's crazy what might happen.
Yeah,
sure.
because he is not an idiot. If we were dealing with an idiot, we'll be plim plim plop. You know?
Yeah,
This man was after these girls for
right. For
body pleasures.
right.
He was on drugs, and he unalived them, and we will have the knife, we will have a car that is a mess, and we will have him because he's an idiot,
Right.
and he's on drugs and all that. This guy didn't do that.
He knows too much. I mean, he's smart enough to be very dangerous. I mean, in the literal sense of the word.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Very dangerous.
So I want to catch up here a little bit. Sifa said, thank you for the sociopathy. I never know how to pronounce that word, but thank you. And I sent you the link. I got it. And then he says, no, it's on the record. Oh, that he can't leave the stand prematurely. That once he's up in the stand, he's got to stay there until the prosecutor says, the prosecution rests. Oh, my goodness. Wow. Okay, I'm caught up with that. I mean, except I might have missed something. I don't know if Penny's gone. He has it. Yes. What's that? 8:32. 14 minutes ago. Oh, Penny's probably gone.
Oh, Penny.
I don't know. To me, 14 minutes can be like a lifetime. So I'm guessing she's gone. But I say that, and then they go, no, I'm just doing dishes. I'm just listening. So I'm not fishing for comments. I just, jump to conclusions. So, well, golly, people, we're up on 3 hours here.
Yeah, we are.
And we didn't show the
Oh, yeah.
I guess tomorrow is going to try to be my first big day at Moscow. And so I probably won't watch it tomorrow. But I think I really just want to watch the show so that, I mean, when I'm streaming, I can't focus on what I'm showing. So I can't watch it for the first time because I don't take in anything. I'm trying to fit comments and make sure I'm inviting people and presenting people and all that stuff. Yeah, I have to do it the right way. But so yeah, hopefully I'll watch it again. Probably not tomorrow, but maybe the next day. And yeah, golly, I wonder what tomorrow's going to be about. It's going to be interesting. It's
going to be very interesting for you.
Yeah,
I'm excited for you.
Well, thanks. I'm pretty hyped. I can get my expectations so high that it will be disappointing, or I could just say, let's just see what we can do, and then
just see what happens.
So yeah, it'll be interesting for sure. But I wouldn't say I'm exactly tired, but it is 8:48 here locally, and it is 3 hours, and I always get nervous about going to YouTube live because I don't call it lurking. I can listen to another stream, but as soon as I type something in, I think I committed to 3 hours. As soon as I type in something, I'm done for 3 hours. And I'm like, I can't do 3 hours. So I have to, so I can't say hello. And I'm like, no, I want to say hello. I don't want to hide in the back, but anyway, I'll try to figure that out. Lost Souls I'll for sure go to. Brittany, I always have to figure out who's there and that kind of stuff. And then, and T-Rev, sometimes I say hello to, just touch base with him and stuff. But anyway, golly, sorry. Anyway, I think I am going to come to the end here. any closing comments or thoughts for B? Do you have any thoughts or ideas or anything?
Just excited to see what happens with tomorrow.
Oh, for me?
For
Oh,
you, yeah. Oh, I'm excited for you. I
oh,
mean,
you
you're
were so
there.
nice.
I know
were
you
so-
think you like failed because you didn't get there, but I call that dedication. You know, you got there, you were there.
Thank you.
You're
Thank you.
still there. So yeah, no, I'm excited to see if nothing happens, whatever.
Yeah, at least I get a 7-Up at the corner club.
The
You know.
fact
Even
that we get to
something.
walk around is cool. Well, I mean, it's really sad, but
Right. I don't want to.
I don't mean it like that.
I don't want to lose the purpose of what happened for sure.
I agree with Sifa and I agree with Survivor. It's going to be, it's history. I mean, it's,
It is. Like
yeah,
it's I mean, if I could walk around there, if I would, you know, and maybe
it's,
that sounds horrible, but it has affected so many people. I would love to
Mm.
just see like what the town was about, like without being disrespectful.
And I don't know if y'all get an idea of me. I think you probably get a pretty good idea of me. But
Yeah,
I have 3 diagnoses, which I call them my quirks and idiosyncrasies. But 2 of the 3 are based on anxiety. So anxiety is kind of the big thing about me.
Yeah.
So believe you me when I say when I'm walking around that campus and there's something I want to do online that I want to do live, it takes about 10% of my focus to go Twitter live, and it takes about 57% to go StreamYard live. So it's always easier and quicker and better for me to go to Twitter. And I think that's a shame because I believe everyone when they say they're not on Twitter. But I again without having a specific plan, I assume I'm going to go live on Twitter. And I'm just throwing a number out there, but I bet I go live tomorrow probably 5 or 6 or 7 times, depending on where I'm at and what's happening and things like that. So anyway, I doubt if I'll go 7 times on StreamYard. It's too complicated, and I have to give 30 minutes notice. Thank you, Sifa. You changed it from 60 minutes to 30 minutes. That was so cool.
Oh,
but
good.
but you know, I have to copy. I'm cutting and pasting from God, it's so taxing.
No, you do whatever you can do. I mean, what you do is awesome. So
Well, thank you. But if there's anything I can do to improve your chances of being on Twitter, I would love to help you bridge that.
maybe someday, who knows? I don't say never to everything, but Twitter,
There you go.
I don't know about that one.
Almost never. Well, cool. But that sounds good. And then Eliza, I think we cut you off a couple times. What were you
Yeah, I'm
saying?
sorry, Liza. Oh gosh.
Oh, I did it, I think.
I don't even, oops, what happened? Are you okay?
Was that
Well,
you, B? Did something happen, B?
did I make a noise?
Oh, no, that's okay.
Okay.
Uh, what I was going to tell you, where do you think that you are going to start? Where do you want to start tomorrow?
Well, it is 8:53 p.m. right now. So to me, I don't want to think that way, but that's pretty early. So I do have probably a good solid 1 or 2 hours to think about it and put it into writing and stuff, which helps me. It still will be a post-it note that doesn't, fulfill its purpose in life. I usually anyway, but I hope to, if I was just shooting off the top of my head, I'd probably say campus. I'd go to the University of Idaho. A really, really close second is the house, except I do believe that my device was jammed. And the one device that I like to use is the most, when that gets jammed, the other 2 devices I can't use as well. So I probably don't want to go to near the house unless it's the last thing I'm going to do of the day. So probably campus, just see if it's like, it's not going to be packed. I mean, people are just going from class to class. They're not, it's got, 8 minutes between each class, and you're just going from class to class. So it's not going to be huge, but that might include the bookstore or the cafe near the, I guess I want to get campus life. And then, I probably won't wait until night to go to the corner club because I don't drink and I hate fucking bars. I hate them, but I can go in and I don't feel like drinking and it's no big deal. So I'll try to do that earlier. And then I would think Jack in the Box would be my dinner. That would be probably tomorrow night's dinner. And then, God, I'll have to set the alarm to wake up for that effing grub truckers. I mean, come on. Bar hours? That's crazy to do those
You don't
bar
think
hours.
that is too much for one day?
Yeah. I'll if I do half of what I talk about, then it's a successful day. So yeah, I don't expect to do it. I think, like you said, your question was, where do I want to start? I think I want to start on campus. I'm sure there's an 8 o'clock class, but I don't know if I'm going to show up by that time. But I wouldn't mind being as close to that. So campus, bookstore, cafe in the bookstore, and just get a feel for how that feels. And then
You see, a campus where the house, if I'm not wrong, where their house is, it's they can walk to campus from that house. I don't know how cold it is is it right now, but a stroll, walking to campus. I heard somewhere that is less than 10 minutes.
It looks relatively close. I like to walk, so as long as I can find, I have problems with parking illegally. So if I find a proper,
Everybody have.
right. But if I find something, whatever that word is, legal, then I will just like to park and walk the rest of the day. But I think walking to campus is misleading. Like if you walk to the closest class, that's probably 8 minutes. But if you walk to the longest class, that could be 25-minute walk. A campus is huge. So it depends where your classes are. If you're taking engineering or, whatever. So I don't have their school. I don't know what classes they took. So I guess I could find that stuff out. But
I was saying that because I was thinking, if we have the theory that he was a teacher assistant, he was in the university, right in Washington.
Washington State University? Yeah.
Yeah, Washington State. He probably need to do something in Idaho State, in Idaho, in the University of Idaho State. I don't remember the name.
Yeah,
Then,
University of Idaho. Yes.
University of Idaho. Then, being in the University of Idaho, how he could. Okay, the first thing that when I used to go to another university, I will go for their library. They will have something that I don't.
I love the library, yes.
And yes, they will have something that my university didn't have, or I didn't want to wait until they bring for next week that will be here or something like that. And I will go, or they have some some symposium or somebody invited there that I want to hear or listen to in a hall.
A keynote speaker, yeah.
Yeah, a speaker. Then, if that library or what is close to that King Street house, how his brain could have been drawn to that house. It's something I wonder about,
I still think it's TikTok. I still think it was one of the scantily clad women that got him on TikTok.
When I used to see TikTok, it's like millions of people in that thing. How did you find?
Oh, the one to be obsessed about? Oh yeah, that's a good question.
With such an easy house. I mean, it's too much. Because if he went to, I saw in, no, I remember, maybe News Nation, the Alpha Pi, the sorority that two of the girls were on, they had cameras. He couldn't go there. They had cameras and they had security. Then he couldn't go to their sorority. He had to wait. And how he knew, Kaylee was living, before that house, Kaylee was living in an apartment. How he knew that all that? By TikTok? By their media footprint then?
I just thought about the Mad Greek. I definitely want to go there too.
Oh yeah, the Mad Greek.
Yeah.
But and you know, the Mad Greek, they did put out a statement, but it was through someone else as a tweet. And their statement said, our staff does not recognize him and our staff does not remember serving him. Now, I think that would be a pretty safe statement where they're not really saying he has never been to our restaurant. They're just saying we didn't recognize him. So I think they're just covering their own butt and that he really did eat there occasionally. And Xana, come on. Anybody could be around Xana for 10 minutes and they'd be in love in no time flat. You know, they would be like, oh, golly, this is a great waitress. I want to give her 20% tip and stuff like that. So, you know, and I don't know. I don't know if I still think it's TikTok, but I think there was some live interaction too somehow. But yeah, it'll be amazing to find out what happened.
Then first TikTok and then live interaction.
I mean, I'm OCD and I can hyper focus on, I can do the research. I can narrow it down pretty quickly, pretty easily. So I think he could have narrowed it down pretty easily. And then, you know, maybe her shirt said UID or it said, you know, physical education. I think one of them studied physical education. You know, maybe he could find out where they took classes from and where the classes were and what fraternity. I mean, they told you everything.
Well, and there's a point. If both university, because like in Washington, Georgetown University had Georgetown's and Marymount. They have I don't know. It's a dual thing.
Up in there.
Marymount, yes, students can go to do their last semester at Georgetown, and you know, we can do interchangeable stuff. Male
and female, yes.
We will have access. The professors will have access to the university. Then, if he was a TA, he will have access. I don't know if the universities work like the Georgetown and Marymount. He will have access to everything they were doing. And then, now that you're still, he knew, if he had access, he knew that it was Kelly's last semester.
Oh yeah, that's good, Eva.
Yeah, because she was done with all her classes.
Wow.
Whew. Golly,
you just threw so much out. Like you just threw so much out there, and my brain is like spinning 1,000,000 miles an hour right now. Like
it's endless. You're
yeah,
right.
You always make really good points, Liza.
Well,
for sure.
Well, Joe told me he could have been using TikTok to find them.
Yep.
By their, you know, Idaho blah blah and their whatever vandals. And then to get to know where they live, he have it right there. He's a TA assistant.
Yeah.
Click,
it's not hard to find out.
And he didn't even have to use his own computer. He can go to his professor computer.
Right. Laptop or a device or anything of the university he could have used. I don't want to victim shame, and I don't. I think I don't victim shame, and I don't mean to, but I have only once in one stream quoted Kaylee a couple of her videos, just once, and I'm not going to do it tonight, but it was not a great thing to say for people that are maybe watching your video and they're attracted to you. It's not the greatest thing to be talking about, and I think it could have excited people and distracted people and got, like, oh, she's talking to me. Oh, okay, thanks. Okay, wow. Maybe we do have a relationship. So it's and again, it's not about victim.
No, I understand you. I'm going to tell you why.
But she did it twice. She did it twice in her videos, and I'm like, why say that? Why say that?
The thing is that we are older.
Yeah, I'm pretty progressive.
No, but go back, because when you guys were talking about that they did everything right, they went out of the bar with a male companion that walked them through the food truck, and they got a private vehicle to take them home. And I was thinking, oh my God, so many times I did everything wrong. Thanks God they were not TikTok and everything else when I was
traveling alone, and for sure.
Oh yeah. Oh God.
And drunk, and
and some kind of the clothes the body I used to have, and the clothes I used to go to parties.
Yeah,
oh
same.
my Lord. I mean,
yeah. I mean, it's and that's life. Yeah, for sure.
It was the time that we will have just a tiny piece of clothing in the front and just yes, and just strips in the back.
Yeah.
And you will go to dance with a mini skirt and that thing.
And that thing.
Then it's not victim blaming. It's just we are older, and now we see, oh my God,
and
that
I
will be a danger. But at their age, I did it.
And
I did too.
I mean, I have to me, words are different than outfits. I think outfits are a given.
That's true.
I think females, by the time they're 11 and 12 and 13, they are sexualized. They already know how to dress. They already know how to do that stuff. Whether they should or want to, that's a different question. But so outfits don't sound any big deal to me. It's the words that she was saying. And it was kind of along with a song, but it wasn't the song. She was talking about herself. And
carnival outfit.
The carnival outfits.
Almost.
Pretty much.
With those little stripes. Yeah, you didn't say stripes. What do you call it?
It was. I found it a few weeks ago, and I was looking at it. I cannot believe.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Thanks God, I was already over 18, but even like that, I was like, oh my God, Lisa, really?
Oh God, yeah. I look back at pictures and I'm like, I cannot believe.
Yeah.
First of all, that I thought I looked good, but then my father let me leave the house like that.
Right. You all dress like that, thinking that the parent would stop you, but then they didn't. They didn't stop you.
Yeah, crazy.
Sounds like a carnival outfit. Yes, sir.
Steffa, you got it dead right.
And then the party was like a carnival party.
Yeah.
And the weaker sex of everything, we respond. We're physically stimulated, and it's so shallow. We're so predictable. We are so predictable. So
back then, that's all I wanted. I wanted attention. I wanted everybody, all the guys looking at me.
Right. So and you got it. That's what we
do. And so for some, I don't know if it's like that for girls. I have no clue because I have boys. But for me, it was. Most of the time I had a boyfriend, but it was more about what the other girls will dress better than the other girls. It was not about the attention from the boys. It was showing the other girls that I was not behind.
Yeah. That's true.
Because it's a competition between women.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
And that's why sometimes you have 3 girls, and all of them have a miniskirt, white, because they want to be, she looks good in white, then I'm gonna wear white. And the third one, I'm going to wear white too. And then those years. But yes, and we can say things too. And we don't think that they're predators.
No, back then I thought I was untouchable. Like,
Yeah.
Oh, never gonna happen to me. Da 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 da. I think that's natural at that age. It's not good.
I think it happens today too. Again, on TikTok, I think a 15-year-old thinks that she's safe, and it's just people giving her compliments. They don't see the seedy side of that. But yeah, I like how you talked about 3 white miniskirts, because the same thing happens. A lot of the TikToks are 3 women or girls, or depending on their ages, but there's 3 of them, and they'll have a medium brown shirt and a dark brown shirt and a light brown shirt, and they're like, who do you think is the best looking? They say the brown shirt, and they're like, well, which one of us? So it's like, you ought to wear 3 completely different colors so that people can quickly say who they're talking about.
It takes a grandmother or age, because I remember my grandmother saying to me, that the trick is to be different than the other girls, not the same like the other girls. I was like, oh, again, please.
Right. What are you talking about? No way.
And a good example was, I don't remember her.
Bianca Devins. I don't know her, Bianca Devins.
That name rings a bell.
Let me look.
Bianca Devins.
And you say was. Does that mean she is no longer alive? That's not good.
Yeah, I was a wild child when I was younger.
Were you? It sounds like a little bit.
Yeah, I like to have fun back then.
Oh, she was, yes.
Ew, yes. I was a wild child.
Maybe see if I can put it on the message.
Bianca Devins,
and Joe can read it to us, because my reading, yes.
That name rings a bell. I don't know who that is, though.
Oh, yeah, it's a murder of her.
Oh, that's really sad. I don't want it to ring a bell for that reason.
And she was just 17 years old.
Who may have lied about her age.
Oh, yeah.
You never know if that's true.
I used to do that too. That's a bad thing to do. Ladies, if you're younger, don't do that. Do not lie about your age.
She was a social media personality.
That's sad.
Wow. He saw her kissing another man. That is horrible. See, that's the relationship that they can feel through a camera. They feel like she's talking to me. She is talking to me, and that's not true. I mean, Kaylee was not talking to Creepo. What's his name? To the suspect. Yeah, she wasn't talking to the suspect, but she was definitely talking to some men. For sure, she was talking to some men. For sure. But yeah. Anyway, it's that false connection that people are like, "Oh, we have a relationship."
There you go. Do you read it?
Oh my gosh, yeah. Now I remember this. Yep. Now I know why I remember Bianca Devins. This was horrible.
No, I don't want to read it. Thank you, Sifa, but I don't want to read it.
So. Sifa, you are on top of everything. Holy moly. I remember that now.
Yeah,
a teen. God.
She was a teen Instagram e-girl. Yeah, yep. She must the e-girl. 17. And like I said, I always talk vaguely about loved ones of my life. But anyway, you have to be 13 years old to join Facebook and all those platforms. And I think that's horrendous. I can't believe it's so young. Yeah. But in the same way that this vague loved one of mine wanted to have a dog at a certain age, that vague person negotiated a dog early. So that vague person negotiated Facebook early. And we said, well, we can't make you older. I mean, we can't, and so
Yeah.
what we didn't know wouldn't hurt her. And she joined Facebook. So anyway, I'm like, but that's someday that age is going to change. You gotta,
Yeah.
you gotta make it real someday. You gotta face up to the real age. And nothing happened to her, but yeah, I negotiate, she could get away with anything. So she got a Facebook before 13 for sure.
Yeah, it's this at that age. All I do is true crime.
So
Wow.
Sifa, I think someday I do have to come to the terms that I must pick a second case. And I think 9 weeks ago, I knew exactly what case I was going to take. I now don't know the status of the case at all, but I knew which one I was going to take. And I don't think it'll be ultra popular for obvious reasons. But my second case will probably be Shanquella down in Mexico. And it's just not as popular for various reasons, but it's in another country anyway. So Sifa, I don't know if you have a top 10. Justice Jane, how are ya? Hey. But I don't know if you have a top 10 of who you would think the next case would be. Because I do think I have to come to that point. Because I'm not going to do motorsports. I don't want to say that and then prove myself wrong in 2 months. But I don't think I'm going to do motorsports. And I don't think I'm doing politics. And invisible disabilities makes me exactly $0. So I'm not going to do that either. So people don't care about it unless it really applies to them, which makes sense. You don't want to learn about cancer and stuff until it applies to you. Then you go,
Yeah.
God, get me
Oh,
the information. Get me the information.
Yeah.
yeah.
So
You go to
anyway, Sifa. So yeah, just Sifa, you say you breathe this stuff, so I'm sure off the top of your mind. Which again, you too, Liza, and you too, B. If you have ideas to throw out there, I probably will go to Shanquella. Now, I went to Shanquella about 2 weeks ago, and I went, I dropped in and I said, "Hey guys, I'm sorry, I followed this perfectly for 2 weeks, and then I disappeared, and I'm doing it, so." I said, "Is anybody in custody?" And God damn it, I was gone for 6 weeks. And the same fucking answer was no.
No. Yeah.
And I
Crazy.
said, I cannot believe no one's in custody. All 6. I'm a little extreme. I think all 6 should be in jail, but for sure the 1, and for sure the 2, and maybe the other 4 get off by some stupid, whatever. But so anyway, I can't believe no one's in. Anyway,
Yeah.
so
Crazy.
I will need.
It's a very difficult case because I like that case because of international law.
And femicide. Do you really like femicide?
Yeah, it's interesting that it's such a big problem in Mexico that they have to make it's not a law, it's like another branch.
It's another charge. Yeah, it's a different charge. And I'm sorry to interrupt to you, and I may butcher the information, but I had it precisely 6 weeks ago. But I do believe murder in first degree, they don't call it that, but murder in Mexico is 12 years in jail. And femicide, which means a killing, an unaliving that's based on their gender. A female can do it, but it's just based on them being a female, is 45 to 65 years.
Yeah.
And that's the exact same event. So 12 years. What kind of country gives 12 years for murder? 12 years. That's absurd. So anyway, that femicide, I'm like, yes, let's screw all 6 of them, which we can't. We can screw 2 of them, I think, but we can't.
One of the big problems that the American government, I think, that has with it is that how do you make sure that these American citizens will have their human rights? not affected in a Mexican prison. And that's almost impossible.
And I don't care how they're treated.
I don't think it should matter. I mean, they committed it in Mexico, so
I hope they don't use Vaseline. I hope they don't.
But
mean,
legally,
seriously.
they are American citizens, and United States needs to protect, even if they kill somebody. United States needs to protect American citizens, and even the United Nations have said that human rights are not looked after in Mexican prisons. Then
Now-
it's difficult. It's difficult for.
Now, on a
I don't-
much
what-
smaller scale, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No,
Liz.
no, go ahead.
So on a much smaller scale, Pennsylvania could have done that with this case, right? Pennsylvania could have said, we don't have the death penalty. Idaho does have the death penalty, so you're staying in our state. Could have they said that?
I don't think so, right? Because he committed the crime in Idaho.
Wasn't
think-
that the
think-
wavering?
Yeah, but he waived that. He could
Oh.
have stayed in Pennsylvania if he wanted.
But you're saying from Mexico, it's much huger. That now they really have to make sure that they're not abused in jail.
No, I mean, jails in the United States are a 6 stars hotel compared to jails in Mexico.
That's where I want them to go. That's where I want them to go.
It's
All-
like it's
All
like the
6
city-
of them.
It's like in Roman times, a citizen of Rome, it will be secure anywhere in the empire. If United States, just imagine the United States sending, oh God, I'm not always politically correct, but sending somebody to now Iran. And that person is
To
a
do what?
woman that committed adultery.
Oh, okay. All right.
And you know what is going to happen. It's a stone to death.
Yeah.
That's amazing. You're right. I would want to keep those Americans, no matter what she did, as long as she didn't kill anyone. Or you're right. I would want to keep them on American soil.
Yeah, it's difficult for the State Department because they are Americans.
That's a tricky one.
It's
Is there going to be any negotiating? Like if we have a drug pin, if we have a kingpin druggie, a drug dealer,
No, because
would they negotiate?
Mexico, I don't think so. Mexico have to negotiate with the United States to take their kingpin. What is his name? El Chapo.
El
Yeah.
Chapo? Yeah.
Please, United States, could you keep him there? Because they couldn't handle him in Mexico.
Are any negotiating? Like say, we'll let 10 million kilos of heroin get across the border if you take these kids, or something like that. Would there be some under the table? Would there be some negotiating to get them to Mexico, to get the 6 of them to Mexico?
I don't see how.
Oh man.
The American population wants them in Mexico. The African American population wants them in Mexico,
Absolutely.
but they are American citizens.
So it sounds like you've done a fair amount of research. If you were just shooting off the top of your head or off your hip or whatever, do you think one will get murder and one will get manslaughter and the other 4 will get nothing? Is that what you're guessing will happen to those 6?
I have no clue because when the crime happened, the hotel, the police, and the doctor, they
All screwed up.
They got rid of any evidence. The only evidence we have is, as far as I know, is her body.
Yeah, they kept changing the scene. Yeah.
And those 2, well, I just saw one video, but they say that it's 2 videos.
Yes. Supposedly there's a second one. I thought I saw it before it was removed. It was yeah. You
Since
can't.
I don't use I heard it wasn't in Instagram, but I don't use Instagram. This is the bad thing about not using Instagram. But I just saw the one that got to YouTube,
Mm,
and it's to me it's clear that with the second blow, the first woman negligent homicide maybe. Yeah. To me, it's clear with this for the first blow. The first woman got when Chantella, she looked like a doll.
a doll. Yeah.
Yeah.
That something happened with her.
Her body. Yeah. Something at that
Not
moment.
yeah, with her
Her neck or her spine or
her spine. Yes,
yeah.
she got incapacitated that second.
Yeah.
The
Oh God, that was awful.
what Mexico have with feminicide is that incapacitation had something to do with her airways,
Mm.
60 years. And the brutal,
Hey, what's up,
some
Seth?
people
Oh,
say
not
that,
yet. Hey.
aloha. Some people say that, and I believe that she was aware of what was going on. And her body took hours to shut down
Yeah.
completely.
Oh my goodness. So
Terrible.
I just wanted to say hi to SF. Aloha, guys. Did you get a hotel, JoeHart? No, I did not yet. I I know you had troubles getting a link last night, and then you said I'll just look in the description. And when I set up this stream, I looked in the description, and I don't think any of my links were in there. So I put all 4 of my links into my description, so they're all in there, which I can download any of them you want tonight if you want them. But yeah, nothing yet. It seems to be a warm. It's all relative, but it does seem to be a warm trend going on. There's a lot of snow, like in California, but it's not hitting us yet. So but anyway, it's good to see you. I'm glad you're back. So and I know I can't, it's unfair, Liza, to pick your brain, which I guess by now I know your name's Lisa. So I guess I'll have to change that.
Liza is okay.
I like Liza. That's to me way more sexier. I don't know why. But so Liza,
La la.
so it's not fair picking your brain, but for the 4 other people, especially the person with a camera in his hand, do you see? I think he ought to die. I think he ought to get death. If you can't tell, I feel real extreme about all 6 people. But I'm talking about the one person with the camera in his hand in particular. What do you think the charge can? I'm sorry. I guess we're always assuming. No. I have so many questions. If they don't go back to Mexico, is there ever a case in the United States, or do we just drop everything?
They can now if they can prove that these people knew what they were going to do when they were in American soil, the planning of the aggression, something. It's not going to be a lot, but it will be something. Or the United States can let Mexico get them to trial, but I don't know if they have enough evidence. And then the United States can use the same thing that it was extradition and ask for Mexico for the Americans to do the time in the United States. But on your question about the guy that was,
Yeah, what do you think is the realistic charge he would get?
it's trouble. I asked months ago, and filming something, it's not a crime. As far as he knew, he was filming a fight between 2 females. You know how many people film fights?
And fights that get really close to the end of their life. I mean, I guess there's a whole
Yeah,
market of that. Yeah.
the one that is filming it doesn't know that
It's going to go that far. Yeah.
it's filming a fight, but
So do you think
legally,
that-
if he got in the middle to try to put them apart, it will be the right thing to do. But then if he put his hands in between, he could be part of what happened.
for sure.
But right now, I don't know enough, and I don't know which state would look at it. And I know in Mexico, I have seen so many gruesome deaths filmed in Mexico. I mean, horrible things, because they don't censorship like the United States. They put things on news and the TV news that when I look at them, I'm like, oh my Lord. But the person who is like, who was it? Do you remember that after Hiroshima, or it was Nagasaki? I don't remember. The cameraman that took the picture of that little girl after the bomb. It's that the picture won the Pulitzer Prize.
Oh, where she's running.
Yes.
She doesn't have clothes on, and she's like 8 years old. Yeah. She's famous, and that photo's famous. Yes.
Yes, but
It was the napalm. It was when the napalm.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
She was in pain, and he did nothing. He just took the picture.
Wow, I wouldn't even think of that. I mean,
well, we do that, and it's morally incorrect, but legally, he had nothing to do with it.
plus it's a child, so that really pulls on your emotions for sure. Yeah, that's wild.
Well, here's the kick. He couldn't deal with it.
Oh.
And he unalived himself.
Oh the photographer?
Yeah, and we have another photographer that did a picture of, it was the 90s or 80s, late 80s, when the famine in, I don't remember which country in Africa, was very bad. And the picture was of a baby and an animal. So the picture won a prize too.
Oh my goodness.
And
I don't remember that one. I don't think.
If you want, you can look at in the internet, and I think that the guy also unalived himself.
I mean, a lot of pressure. I mean, I'm sure that
yes, it's a lot of pressure, but this was the 80s. We didn't have all of us in our hands a camera. And in a way, I think that the camera in our hands had desensibilized us. We want to take the shot. If it's a car crash, you want to take the shot to put it in your whatever social media you're using to get the views.
Wow.
And
so
it's difficult.
Golly, that's so much. That's great
guys,
information.
Can I cut in real quick? My phone's on 1%, so I'm probably going to drop off in a minute. So I just wanted to say goodbye before. I'm sorry. I'll get my charger and I'll put it back on the charger, but I gotta go in the bedroom to get that.
Okay. Well, thanks for letting us know when you suddenly disappear. But thanks.
Yeah, and I'll stay on. It's got 1%, so I'll be here.
Oh, that'll be forever
long. But yeah. So just in case I just fell off. I didn't want to interrupt because it's really interesting what you're talking about.
So, well, thanks. So, just to cover the details a little bit, there was 6 people in the room. Shankella is the victim, and there's 5 people. There's Dejanay.
Oh, yeah. The same situation, yeah.
And Winter, and those are the 2 aggressors. And then the other 3 are observers. Maybe I have no. I'm sorry. It's 1 plus 6. It's 7 total. So there's 4 non-aggressors, and 1 has a camera. So, Liza, how would you describe that? I mean, you've already said that this camera person's not going to get anything, but the 3 people.
I don't know. Times change. I'm not sure, but.
And it's Mexico. I mean, if they do get to Mexico, we probably have no idea how Mexico's going to.
Even in the States, how you.
But anyway, do you think the 3 that did not have a camera in their hand would be even less charges? Or I guess they wouldn't have more charges. They would have less charges, right?
Well,
It depends of. They can get off, I think.
They can get off with good lawyers, but if they're in Mexico, they're going to get screwed with lawyers, probably.
No, because they could say, we didn't want to be part of the fight, and
pick sides, maybe.
Yes, and what happened in this, the way I see it is, one woman started a fight, the other woman got hit very fast in the wrong place, and then it couldn't respond. The woman that started the fight didn't know that the other woman couldn't respond. She should have, because I think that she was studying something about to be a nurse or something about health.
really? Oh my!
I think one of them, yeah. I think
I could be lying, but they were something about health. I have it in my notes somewhere.
Right, and we haven't thought about it, so yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah, it's why you can be in a fight with another. 2 men could be a fight with another man, and you just push the man. The man falls, hits his head, and have what they say brittle bones, and dies. Most people will not, but in this case, this guy had this condition. Then you are culpable.
Right, you're not guilty. Yeah.
Well, you are. You will go for killing another human being.
Oh, because they had that condition. Okay.
Yeah. Too bad. That's why I tell my kids, don't get into fights.
Yeah.
You don't know what they have. Yeah.
Yeah. You don't know if somebody falls the wrong way, you will be in jail.
You don't want that.
No.
Just don't. They can tell you whatever they want. You respond whatever. Don't get wrong. Don't get into fights, because one thing goes wrong and you go to jail.
Oh man.
And this woman just continue. It looks terrible because somebody is
incapacitated.
Incapacitated, and other person is videoing all these, recording everything. But how much did they know?
I mean, she clearly said that, because didn't he say, like, fight back? And she's like, I can't.
Yeah, aren't you going to fight back, Quell? And she said, I
Like,
won't, or I can't. Yeah.
But what I read was that if she was incapacitated, it was her first and second vertebrae. It's very close to the vocal cords. Some doctors, I haven't seen the case in a long time. Some doctors said that it's not possible after you are hit right there. It was the Jefferson, I think it's called the Jefferson, I don't remember, but it has a name when you are hit there, Jefferson something.
Oh my goodness.
Yes, and then you cannot use your vocal cords. Then some people say that statement was made by some of the people that were looking.
I don't know.
But,
Well,
yeah,
that's so much information. And,
but it's a great case.
it is a great case, and I do still want to try to get off here. As I said 45 minutes ago. Oh, B just
Oh,
left. I was
did she
trying
go?
to I was trying to finish it up before her 1% ran out, but I guess her 1% ran out. But anyway, I think I'm Jefferson Fracture. There
There
goes
you
Sifa.
Sifa. Sifa
Oh,
is.
it didn't let me click on that. Jefferson Fracture. Yes, Sifa. Man, you are just right there.
Yeah, Sifa is the eye that knows it all.
The Wizard of Oz or the
Yeah.
Wizard of YouTube Live. But
Incredible.
anyway, I think I'm gonna begin to sign off. And I'm sorry that I missed B before her battery ran out. But Liza, as always, I really appreciate you being up here. So thank you very much.
It
And
was pleasure.
well, good. I'm
Well,
glad you enjoy it too. But anyway, so Sifa, thank you for being here. Kolo Hey SF, thanks for stopping by briefly. And Nightbot, thank you for all your messages. And who else? Penny was here a lot, which was wonderful. And Justice Jane, I only saw you one time. Everyone hand pink waving. Good evening, everyone. Hand pink waving. Oh, that's cute. What's a hand pink waving? I don't know.
it's like a emoji. Yes.
So cool. Thank you. So anyway, Penny, and I'm not going to go much further back than that. But yeah, thank you for everybody. And I think that's it. And so yeah, I'm planning to go to Moscow tomorrow, and I'm going to see what happens, and I'm going to try to keep in mind Liza's ideas and B's ideas and Sifa's ideas. Going to Mom Strings, probably. I will probably have to take some notes on what I want to focus on tomorrow.
Wow. I wanted to be a forensic pathologist. That's why he knew it.
Yeah, well, you can still be. That's never too late. That's for sure. And going to Mom's Stream. I think I am going to go to Scarlett's.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to Scarlett. I love her.
Oh, cool.
Dearly love her.
Yeah, she's a rock star. She's really
Yeah.
nice.
I started watching her when she had like 15 or 20 people there.
Oh, you're kidding. Man, it's
Yeah.
grown. She's just last night, what was the goal? I think 4,000. She was like 50 shy of 4,000. So that's a hell of a growth. That's cool.
Yeah.
So, okay. Anything else
Bye,
you want to
sir.
anything else you want to finish up on, Liza?
No. Good
Okay.
luck. A
Thank
lot of good luck tomorrow, and I hope that you find the angle that is going to be the right one for you.
Thank you.
And the right one to pay some kind of homage or respect to the victims, and in their name, that we can figure out how to avoid these things to happen again to young people so full of life and bright futures.
Oh man, so young. Golly.
Yeah.
But well, thank you. That's a nice blessing to hear. I mean, it wasn't a blessing, but it kind of sounded, like a good
Well, yes.
way to look at it. So thank you.
And Sifa, see you with Mom on Mom's screen.
Yes, you can focus on one stream, Sifa, or I don't know how many you watch, but you can watch one less stream because I'm closing down. So
Sifa probably can watch like 6 at the time.
yeah,
And in three different languages. I think
he told me he has 9 devices or something, 8 or 9 devices. So
I think that we are present of somebody that has a very high IQ. Yeah.
Yep, I think he qualifies for sure.
Yeah.
Only 3 streams or 3 devices. 3 streams is overwhelming to me. 11 devices. Yeah, I thought, you'll have to keep repeating that for me. Sorry. But
11?
11 devices.
Oh,
Yeah, man. That's a lot of them for sure. All right.
Ciao.
Okay. Thank you again, Liza. See you, Sitha. Take care, everybody. And I'll check my 6 streams. So, bye, Liza. So I'm going to hit broadcast in 3, 2, 1. And then I'm going to hit the second button in 3, 2, 1 and broadcast.